Hello and welcome everyone. I hope we're all doing well. We are going to be doing the Norgrimlings tournament today. This is going to be season 1, and what does that all mean for you? Now, what does that mean? That means that this is going to be the short beard only tournament here that we do on the channel. So, what is a short beard? And how do you become one? So Shortbeard is all new players. So it's a sort of a bit of a safer space for all of you new guys in the tournament scene to come forward, play some tournament practice and play some league practice so you get some consistent games going forward so you can get yourself a little bit of a foothold here in the Warhammer multiplayer scene. Now, if that does sound awesome to you, something you'd like to get involved with, then please do feel free to let yourself known to myself or any of the admin team. Now, without further ado, we are going to be in the final here with Subnova and Captain Morgan. Now, Captain Morgan here from DBD, and Subnova, a long subscriber of the channel. So, two great guys, and they're going to be starting out on Bloodpine Woods. Yeah, it should be an interesting map. It looks like we're going to be having Wood Elves up against Dark Elves. Not quite the favourite matchup there for the Darkies, unfortunately. Now, as we move on here, let's see what was said. So, Dark Elves ban Dowie and Bretonia. Now, this is perhaps just because Subnova doesn't know how to deal with Dowie, but at the top level of the game, Dowie is... the Dark Elves are known for being a good counter pick to Dowie. But here it seems that perhaps Subnova just doesn't want to play the Dowie. I don't really know Captain Morgan for playing the Dwarfs, but yes. Dark Elves is a good pick in your pocket at the moment, though, as they're a good counter towards the Beastmen. But of course, you've left yourself open to Wood Elves, but you did ban Bretonia. I think Wood Elves and Bretonia are the top two to ban here. Maybe even Greenskins could be thrown in there in the mixture. Any of those three could be quite nice. So yeah, should be pretty interesting. Quacks for the Quack God, bread for the bread throne. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Big quacks. I hope we're all doing well. Let's have a look. We've got CJ in the chat. We've got Mr. Undead. Human Boy, how are we doing, sir? With his beautiful channel. Mr. Sedane, hope we're well. Mr. Jason Thompson, yes. So, Subnova did unfortunately lose here against Cadane, but Cadane did have to drop out. Mr. Muckluck, Mr. Down Under Blunder, and Parkerilla. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we all doing? Howdy, howdy, howdy. So, for those that did play, how did your games go? Did you enjoy the tournament? How did you all have fun? Tell me all about it. Hope you all had a great time. It looks like there was some really close games. You can see a lot of 2-1s here darted around. There was almost 2-1s in every single game, actually. So, it seems like the games were going back and forward here. Yeah, it seemed pretty fun. Now, we'll talk about a little bit of the amount of the map whilst you guys are... discussing what happened, but as we can see here with the map, we'll see you've got this little forest line around the outside, so it's going to be favouring the Wood Elves there, as they do get no bonuses, sorry, they get no negatives, or essentially a bonus being in trees. So that right hand side of the map you might have to avoid here as the Dark Elves. Now they do have artillery pieces, but we do have anti-artillery from the Wood Elves, so yeah, perhaps you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff on this left hand side for the Dark Elves. So there, how are we? Hey, sorry I missed it. Was busy all morning. No problem, my friend. You got to do what you got to do. Potato, I think, demands on your faction choice and your strengths. Playing defensive or aggressive is better for beginners. That's a good question. That is a good question. When you say beginners, Potato, are we thinking... you've played single player before, or are we thinking that you've played nothing at all? If you've come from the single player side of things, where you've done some campaigns, you've got some experience through there, you'll generally find most players from that area are relatively defensive, or at least you have to be if... at least you have to be defensive if you are playing on a higher difficulty, that's for sure. But I would say it depends on what faction you would like to play. And this is my advice for any new players out there. If you want to play and learn a faction, the one thing you can do is go with one faction only. Whichever one. So for me, it was the Dwarfs. I love the Dwarfs. I love everything about them. Their lore, their models, the way they play. I think it's amazing. So I went with just that one faction and I played against everything. All the time. That's all I played was Dwarfs. And I learned it inside out. Sorry, a bit of hair. And I learned it inside out so that I knew what was good against it, what it was good against, One I need to bring in roughly every single matchup. Now, for anybody that does want to learn about the Dwarfs, I do a series here called Dwarfs vs. the World, which is where I have a massive breakdown, and there's a couple of over-hour videos that do breakdowns into the entire Dowie roster. So if you want to learn a little bit there and you are really new, that might be a good place for you guys to start. It sort of shows what units are good in the current meta, what units and army setups and things you can do with the Dwarfs if you wanted to be a defensive player. A couple of factions I would recommend. If you've come from single player, Dwarves could be a good start. Dwarves could be a very good start. You just have to recognize that your mobility is going to be low and you're going to be a reaction faction. However, if you are brand new to the entirety of Warhammer, I think there's two factions that are great. One, and my favorite one, is Empire. I think Empire is great. Empire is a really, really good start, and it says everything it does on the tin. So you have swordsmen, you have halberdiers, you have spearmen. I mean, it's pretty obvious what they do. It's really obvious, everything in the roster. You can look at it, it says what it does on the tin. And then you've got Chaos, which is another faction that, yes, the Lords are very, very powerful. And learning them a little bit could be the most difficult element of it. But they're not too heavy on range. They're a very infantry-based faction. At the very top level, they are very good to use, but also very hard to use. But they're a good starting faction, I think. They're not too complicated. So I think for you guys, maybe something starting with Chaos or probably Empire. Empire would be my main one. Of course, Gadain would love Chaos. By the way, Logic, in your Dowie rosters, tier list, you put Master Engineers as S tier. In my opinion, he's only good against Undead and other... Oh, no, I totally disagree. CJ, I mean, if you did watch it, you'll see that if you actually watch the entirety of the video, so if you go for the entire hour and a half, I like Empire a lot, very versatile. Exactly, Empire are a great start. Empire are good at everything, but they're not great at anything. You know, you'll have some factions that are great at some things that are really sort of specific at what they're good at. But then Empire have everything in the roster you need. So I think for you, Potato, I think that Empire can be aggressive. They can be defensive. You can make them how you want to be them. And I reckon they'd be a great start for you. But yeah, going back to your comments, CJ, I reckon if you have watched the whole video, I do go through and explain why he's at the top. But in the current meta of the game, having slows for the Dwarfs, because the Dwarfs are so slow, I can't force an engagement. Everything's going to be faster than me, so my opponent can dictate which engagements they want to take, because they are quicker than me. For example, if they don't want to fight my Norgrimlings at the front, they'll just walk around them. They won't engage them. But if I have a flash bomb or a slow, I can enforce an engagement wherever I want. Also, I can stop my opponent from trying to get an advantage. So that's why Flash Bomb and Master Engineers are so good. And the fact they've got restock as well, firing a Tory, they're a very good pivot as well with their 180 range, good armor piercing missile strength. They're just really, really good. And they were good anyway, I would say. Like, I liked them more than the average person, and they certainly had their place. Maybe I was a little bit harsh in the video. They were probably they were average before, but now they're an S tier for sure. Easily an S tier. If I had an SS tier, it would just be Thoric Ironbrow and then probably the Master Engineer, 100%. So they wouldn't just be S, they'd probably be SS if I did have an SS tier. So they're both ready, so let's pop into Bloodpine Woods. Any questions you guys might have throughout, feel free to ask. Learning new armies, try not to use my lovely elves. Yeah, that's true. Very enjoyable. After watching your Dowie guide last night, I made a rather interesting build, which worked for my single win. Well, that's awesome, Parkrilla. That makes me super happy, man. I'm glad that helped you there. That's all I want from the video. I just want it to help. Was that the one that I posted last night, or was that the one that maybe I'd done before? Alright, so let's move over here then. We're going to start with the Wood Elves. So in the sky, we are going to have the Glade Lord. So it's going to be the Lady or the Lord. So it looks like it's going to be the Glade the Glade Lady on a Forest Dragon. So she's going to have the prey of a Rethrema. A little bit bugged at the moment. The net doesn't work so well, but you get 3 nets that should pin them in place and gives a negative 20% missile resistance. And also you get those breath attacks. You can fire whilst moving. You cause terror. You get that physical and missile resistance. And yeah, very good stats overall. 389 missile strength, 190 range. Very strong indeed. The only problem with the dragon, it is huge. So it is very easy to shoot down. But for the caster, we are going to have a Spell Singer of Life. And it's going to have quite a few items. Now, we are going to have Life Bloom, Earth Blood, and Regrowth. And this is really smart. So we're going to be seeing the Blessing of the Ancients. Now, when she's in the tree, she effectively gets Arcane Conduit, or the Greater Arcane Conduit, which means she constantly has Arcane Conduit going over. I think it's actually stronger than Arcane Conduit, but you have to be in the trees. So Captain Morgan certainly knows what he's doing here. He's a very experienced tournament player. But we can see Wild Riders on, and Sisters of Thorn on the flank. Now, I really like Sisters of Thorn. Gorgeous models. They really, really are. But as you can see, they are going to have bound spells. Now, these bound spells do not cost any Winds of Magic. They are free to use, but you only have a limited amount of them. So we get 2 Shield of Thorns, and we also get 1 of the Curse of Anera. Curse of Anera is very strong, negative speed, negative melee attack, and negative melee defense. They can also throw those nice, I believe they throw javelins. I believe they throw javelins that cause poison as well. But 42 missile strength is that's actually pretty strong. It's actually pretty strong. But Wild Riders in behind them, the Wild Hunters of Kurnos as well. So Wild Hunters of Kurnos, another lovely design here with their orange, but they're going to be anti-large, bonus versus large, silver shield, pretty poor armor, but they are going to have frenzy, physical resistance, fear, and they're fast with good charge bonuses. Eternal Guards with shields in the front, pretty standard, pretty cheap, anti-large and armor piercing. In the back here, we are going to have the Starfire Shafts, just a single unit. And that appears to be it. Here, we are going to have the Dark Rider repeater crossbows. Now, against common belief, these are very good with their 92 speed, but they cannot fire whilst moving, which means they have to run away, turn around, and then start shooting again. They can't fire and move at the same time. But these shades can, these shades can't, shades can't. They do have Vanguard deployment, good armor piercing, 130 range, which is pretty decent for the Dark Elves, but they cannot fire whilst moving, but the Assassin can. So the Assassin here can fire whilst moving. He is going to have the Black Dragon Egg. I wouldn't recommend it, personally. I don't think it's very strong. Dark Venom, I wouldn't recommend that either. Assassin's Trophy, Web of Shadows, very, very strong in the current meta. Really, really good up against Chariots. If you want to do well up against Chariots, the Web of Shadows is your perfect destroyer of them. Assassin's Trophy, always very good. And 800 poison missile strength is absolutely no joke. So we are going to have the Cold One Chariots on the right. Common Chariots do here have armor-piercing missiles. Yep, they're strong indeed, but they are able to rampage. You do have to be careful of that. In the middle, we are going to have some Black Ark Corsairs, 80 armor, anti-infantry with some Bleak Swords. So nice, cheap, and thicker front lines here. We are going to see some Dread Spears here, with also the double Dark Shards in the back, with Malus Darkblade. Malus Darkblade is great, but is also a bit of a meme at times. He does have the Deadly Onslaught, the Blood Price, the Demon's Curse, Zarkon, and also the Warp Sword of Cain. Now, when he does go into Zarkon here, he will die. There's nothing you can do. Once he has gone into that mode, he will die. But in general, Malus Darkblade is not that strong. So you're more than likely going to be seeing him going down. But we are going to have a Sorceress of Beasts, Transformation of Kadon, Flock of Doom, and the Wild Heart with the amazing Blades of the Blood Queen Executioners. Amazing stats, 100 armor, 92 leadership, bonus of infantry, anti-infantry, and armor piercing with the Guardian ability and frenzy. Super nice here to have those. Alright, let's hop into this then. Hello there, Mr. Kenobi. So shots in the front here, as you can see, the Way Watchers are going to be shooting. I actually didn't see the double Way Watchers in the front, but 2 units of Way Watchers, 190 range that they have Stalk. They're actually the most accurate range in the game, I think. They are very strong. They will delete shades in a matter of seconds. As you can see, hit really hard here. We're going to be the Dark Riders, the repeater crossbows, just getting deleted here by these Way Watchers. Weight Watchers are going to be shooting in the back here up against the Blades of the Blood Queen. So if you are the Dark Elf player, you know you need to move forward. You actually almost need to put your Dark Riders into melee combat just to shut down these Weight Watchers. You need to get in and you need to delete them. Your trade effectively using the Shades. They've only got 15 armor. You know, things like Burning Head and etc. can remove. I think Fire Magic is really good up against Wood Elves. So flying high in the sky, we are going to see the Glade Lord. The Glade Lord's going to be coming over trying to get some shots, but you have broken in with the missiles here up against the Dark Riders. Shots just getting leaved over here and just destroying this force. You really do need to push quite hard forward here to shut down this range. As you can see, very effectively here with Firewall's movement from the Weight Watchers. He's going to fire and just drop them back as the front line pushes, and then push the front line forward to give them a little bit more room so the Weight Watchers can shoot some more. Now that very large sound is going to be the Ferromanticle here. Ferromanticle is good terror. As you can see, Assassin's Trophy going down and Web of Shadows to slow. So that's a really nice Web of Shadows there. It's going to be doing some good damage and actually shutting down the Wild Riders as well. So moving in, we are going to have the Ferromanticle chasing. We have, I believe it's 90 speed up against 85. So that turn might allow the Ferromanticle to come. But if it doesn't, the Ferromanticle needs to go after the spell. If we go after the Life Caster, there's going to be no healing for the Glade Lord. And then that's just going to be set there on health. Shots here from the Sisters of Thorn. Sisters of Thorn, you want to think about them as a secondary firing unit. You don't want to think about them as just shooting. You'd rather engage them into combat. They have pretty good combat prowess. They're not insane, but they're good hybrid units. And here we go, we're fighting. But the problem here is any damage that is done, this Ferromanticle will just heal the Glade Lord, unfortunately. So moving forward is going to be Zarkon has already been popped. The problem with that is the fact that you didn't get your value here from Malice, but he's already going to be in that Zarkon form, which is quite interesting. I didn't see the damage he was taking. Maybe he did take a lot of damage, but yeah, that was interesting. So he will go down here. Ferromanticle is going to be chasing the Glade Lord. And now we need to have our Dark Shard shooting into the sky up against. Which means now we've broken here, you could probably end up dropping your Blackout Corsairs and pushing up against the Eternal Guards. Whilst we drop here with the Dark Shards and try and see if we can get some volleys. So it looks like that summon is going to go down. We can see that the Blades of the Blood Queen are going to be fighting here up against the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. But we are going to be shooting here with the Dark Riders with the repeater crossbows. Rat attack in the middle up against the Bleak Swords. I would have much preferred to see it up against the Blades of the Blood Queen. But some good shots here coming from the Glade Guard with the Starfire Shaft. Good armor piercing into the flank of the Dark Shards, as they are going to be getting chased by Eternal Guard. So these going forward here, they need to be microed in the front, push back so that they can fight here. Now they can turn and burn. Now they can turn and shoot. Now Dark Riders need to stick on the Glade Lord. And really nice here, as we can see, the Spellslinger of Life, I think it was unmicroed there, is broken by some Dread Spears. And now we need to chase. Where is our caster here from the Dark Elves is the question. Now we have some Kobold Chariots, Prey of Arethanrama going down, so they have been netted, which means they are going to get shot here by the Glade Lady and all of the Weight Watchers. They have nowhere to go. They're going to get deleted pretty heavily here. But as we can see, unfortunately, the Spellslinger of Life is going to come back into the fixture. We can see that the healing cap is starting to come, but we do have to be patient. Now she's going to be in the back here, I think. Yes. No, that's the Cataphrite Assassin. I don't know what happened to the Spellcaster here. But unfortunately, that would more than likely mean there's going to be a win for the Wood Elves here, because we still have the Spellslinger. One regrowth here, and it's looking pretty dangerous, I think. I believe Zarkon's gone down. Zarkon has died now. Yeah, so I forgot. He doesn't cause any negative. So when Zarkon does die, he doesn't cause any negative because he was Zarkon. So, but it's like we are going to rout the Dark Riders. Terra actually going to be giving a negative 21 leadership overall. But he's going to chase, and he's more likely to catch. He only has 90 speed. It looks like here the Assassin's Trophy, which will actually remove some of his stats. I don't really think that's going to help, though. I think as long as he keeps chasing, the Dark Riders will go off. It looks like the Assassin is going to be getting shots here by the Weight Watchers. They have some incredible accuracy, but they are going to run out of ammunition. We're going to run out of ammunition for the Weight Watchers as well. It is very sparing. You need to be very sparing with that ammunition. So the Black Dragon Ache, you can see the majority of the damage is going to be over here. You needed to drop it back a bit and then come into it, because it's tier shaped, so it's going to be wider when you hit. So you want the wider element to hit the spears. But some nice shots coming over the top here from the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. They're going to be shooting here into the lightly armored Dread Spears. The Blades of the Blood Queen are going to be dangerous. They could. Oh, this could be a breath attack. Oh, unfortunately, the breath attack is only going to hit the backside of the Blades of the Blood Queen. As you can see, the Spellslinger of Life has actually healed itself, but also going to be healing the Glade Lord in turn. Assassin is going to be shooting and moving, but you need to have those shots here into the Glade Lord. They need to shoot into the Glade Lord. You do not want to be shooting Eternal Guards with shields. Those 800 poison weapon strength is exactly what you need to be shooting into him. Web of Shadows could get popped here. This is where you need your Assassin's Trophy, because now he's going to get hit really, really hard. Blades of the Blood Queen now going to be fighting up against Sisters of Thorn. Still chasing in the back, we can see here that we actually have a full unit of Dark Shards getting chased in by some Eternal Guard. That's really unfortunate. But in the middle here, you can see Wavering. He does have a meter Psychology. But what's going down here? Assassin's Trophy could help. He is just about stabilizing here. Oh, he has broken. He has broken. That is going to be balance of power. That is going to be army losses and a win here for the Wood Elves, though. Nice win at the end. Yeah, very good win indeed. Alright, so Malice getting no damage value. It's a bit of a shame there. Oh, because he would have probably automatically transformed there straight into Zarkan. He looks like he got 4,300 damage dealt before he transformed. Means whatever he was trying to hit, perhaps it was the dragon. Maybe he got a breath attack on himself. Not too sure, but it looks like he did eventually transform. But we won't see his Zarkan value, unfortunately. But 150 here for the Sorceress of Beasts. 967 for the Cathalite Assassin. I think a little bit more pressure from him. It was some really nice pressure with the when he applied his web. His web is really good up against cavalry, especially up against chariots. And that's where it really does do its best work, is up against chariots. But I think taking the Black Dragon Egg and a few extra items were not necessary. And I really like the Blades of the Blood Queen pick. They're very difficult to deal with. You can see 1,680 damage value. Bleak Swords, the front line could have been a bit wider, I think. The front line needed a bit wider. Instead of going with Dread Spears, I think going a few more Bleak Swords so you know they're going to bring Eternal Guards. And Bleak Swords beat Eternal Guards. You just need to beat them down. And then start putting pressure on the back line. And then all you got is Way Watchers kiting up against Bleak Swords, which is not productive for them. Their ammunition is so small that they're just going to be kiting cheap infantry. As you can see here, 1,328 for the Starfire Shafts. 3,400 for the Way Watchers and 3k as well. God damn it, that's some value. 885 for the Wild Riders, 830 for the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, and 906 for the Sisters of Thorn. 1,360 for the Glade Lord, so only 35 for the Spell Singer, and the front line, not particularly too much here. But god damn, that's nearly 6,500 damage value for the Way Watchers. Incredible stuff. So 350, 88, 450, 550, 300 for the Black Hawk Corsairs. 1.7 is really good for the Blades of the Blood Queen, considering you have Way Watchers and Glade Guard Starfire Shafts on the pitch. 540 for the Dark Shards, 220. And looks like we've got 500 for the Repeater Crossbows, 600 from the Cold One Chariots, and 660. The only thing I could advise here is you've got to be careful in your Vanguard, because Wood Elves have the most Vanguarding options in the game. So Vanguarding against Wood Elves is not always advised when you also, considering that you got deleted with Dark Riders in the beginning from the Way Watchers, it is challenging. But if you did do that, he should have gone straight into melee combat and tried to shut down the Way Watchers. But a very good game otherwise. Very good game. So we will now move on to map 2, which is going to be Pillar of Bone. So Pillar of Bone is quite a nice map. Medium-sized indeed. Very strong. I like Pillar of Bone. It's a good balanced map. I will go Chaos, Ban, Vampire Counts, and Beastmen. Norsca. Now, in general, I would say it favours Chaos this matchup slightly. Probably 55% in the favour of Chaos, 45% in the favour of Norsca. But that is at the top level of the game. Here today, I don't know what we could expect. I think your best friends here are going to be the Windwolves. If we can bring some Skinwolves in, that could be quite nice. Let's have a look, see what you guys are saying. So, I'm scared for the finals. Why are you scared for the finals, Undead? Who's in the finals? I haven't seen. Oh, so we have Undead against Philox in the next semi-final. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So we are going to be going 1 into the advantage of Mr. Captain Morgan. I like to see it. I like to see it. Captain's using Falcon's build here. Oh, it's Falcon's, is it? Oh, okay. It's called a wild card. I love it, Subnova. I love it. Oh, what was set up here? I missed that. Captain Morgan isn't really new. I understand. I understand. But Captain Morgan is in... actually, I believe I said that, CJ. I didn't say he's really new. Captain Morgan is a good player. He's in the higher end of the short bid league, for sure. I'm going to get wrecked in the finals. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. Also, Undead, use this as a good opportunity to scout out your opponents, potentially. Alright, so Pillar of Bone, the Bone Zone. Let's go with Norsca up against Chaos. When will there be another one of these tournaments? There'll be another one of these tournaments once the next league has started. So, Potato, you seem that you're brand new here in the scene. If you'd like to get involved in the next league, which you'd be more than welcome to, drop onto the Discord, send me or one of the admins a message in the short bid saying, hey, I'd like to be a short bid. And what you do is you play a game of 3 against us guys, and then we'll be able to determine, based on your ability, what league you should be in, and we'll put you in a league, and then hopefully we'll get you playing. And then you'll be able to get some best of 3 experience. And then once the season is finished, we finish it off with the Norgrimlings tournaments. And you guys get league experience and you get tournament experience. And then you can progress through the leagues. So we have 4 leagues here. But I'll be able to explain a little bit more after this game. So let's go here with the Chaos. Here we can see in the front we have some Marauder Horsemen. 3 in the front. We're also going to have some Chaos Marauders. These guys have been brought over to the side of Chaos with the promise of power. But as we can see in the front, the Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Look at these monstrous weapons here. But good armor piercing, 100 armor as well. Seriously, no joke. Here in the back, we are going to see some Forsaken. Very fast, 46 speed, 85 armor, and loads of weapon strength. And they're going to be supported by some chosen halberds. Love to see the elite halberds here today. 120 armor, anti-large, and armor piercing are these halberds. They're very strong indeed. We are going to see the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, and he today will be having the final transmutation, very strong, and the Plague of Rust. The other 2 units of chosen halberds are very elite here today. Some Forsaken, double Chaos Warriors with great weapons, but it looks like here we are going to have some Beasts of Tashnar. Now they're going to do the anti-large here from the Norskins. Anti-large and bonus first large. Frenzy, 95 speed. Very good at deleting, especially Marauder Horsemen and Skirmish Cavalry. Here we are also going to have some Norscan Ice Wolves with those Frostbites for slow. We're going to see some Marauders in the front. They are going to have the Frenzy ability. So the difference here for the Norscan Marauders compared to the Chaos is they have these mechanics. We are going to have some Marauder Berserkers who also here today have Frenzy and the Berserk mechanic, which is the upgraded one. And so we're going to have 2 Berserks and 4 Marauders. We are also going to have some Skin Wolves, otherwise known as Wind Wolves here in the back line. They are going to have Frenzy, Regeneration, Anti-Large as well. So bonus first large 30. So think about that as Slayers with great weapons. So the Giant Slayers here is essentially what the Skin Wolves are. But the Skin Wolves, not too many numbers, 18 numbers, Frenzy as well, Immune to Psychology, Fear, Physical Resistance. Very good indeed. In the back, we're actually going to have some Marauder Hunters, so good AP throwing axes, some Marauder Spearmen, but looks like it's going to be 2 Doggos, and it looks like some Familiar Warriors with great weapons. Moving in though, looks like the Norsca Ice Wolves are going to get caught here. Actually doing some pretty decent damage up against the Chaos Marauders. Very nice indeed, just charging in. We are going to have a Familiar Baleffiend of Fire though. So Burning Head, Fireball, Arcane Conduit, and Kindle Flame. It looks like here, I don't know what this is. It looks like it's going to be a nice storm there in the middle with Kolek Suneater. This is going to be a Fireball in the middle. Fireball going straight into the Chaos Warriors with great weapons. It's a little bit better against lightly armoured foes. But looks like here Big Kolek is going to be the daddy today. So he is going to have Star Crusher. He's also going to have Stand or Die and Lord of the Storm. We are going to have Wolfric the Wanderer here, who's absolutely deleted Kolek with these skin walls. Excellent stuff. It looks like here we are going to be having Wolfric the Wanderer on Chariot. Can't quite see what he's going to have today. So he's going to have Hunters of Champions, which is a must. Fireball just missing their Kolek. Fight or Die and Sea Fang. Kolek is running for the hills at this point. No healing for either side. Some of my favourite units as well is going to be the Marauder Javelins. Javelins are anti-large. Very, very good missiles for their cost. So as we can see, running for the hills. Kolek's not going to be coming back. You've never normally seen Kolek run with his tail between his legs. But as we can see here, we are going to be having some skin walls fighting up against the Chaos Sorcerer Metal. Captain Morgan has not noticed. Unfortunately, here going to have all his attention on top of Kolek. He's not realising he's going to be losing his Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal. Looks like we are going to be breaking the monstrous infantry here. Oh my god, Wolfric! Wolfric gets slammed by these Chosen with halberds, both units, but we are going to be losing the Chaos Sorcerer. Wolfric has been smashed down to size as well, but regenerating will be the Skin Wolves, so they should come back, hopefully. These Skin Wolves here with the 75 speed, going to be getting kited here by the Marauder Horsemen. As we can see, the Beasts of Tashnar are going to be running away. I'd like to see the Beasts of Tashnar maybe try and see if they can get on top of Kolek Suneater here. Skin Wolves going to be coming back into the front line. Maybe try and see if they can move off these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Hopefully they can. Moving through, we're going to get some of these Marauders back to the front line. Rampaging here is going to be the Berserkers. That's their final stage where they get all that physical resistance, etc. And they're going to be getting all of those amazing melee and leadership stats. Fighting up against the Marauders. Burning Head in the back. That's not going to do too much up against Chosen Halberds. 120 armor, that's going to do loads of damage up against the Marauder Berserkers, and none here up against the Chosen. So you do have to be careful with fire magic. And this is this Sea Fang could be incredible. Now Sea Fang will do lots of damage. That's some good work there up against the Chosen, but this is the perfect scenario. Beasts of Tashnar are going to absolutely delete the Chaos Sorcerer here. They're going to do some really, really nice work here in the pocket, and Kolek's going to come and try and save. Looks like he's going to instantly terrify the beasts. And somehow that Chaos Sorcerer Lord is going to get away with his life. As we can see here though, very even a balance of power. It does look like on the battlefield though, we are going to be seeing a lot more models from the brilliant Norskins. We need to get these Marauder Hunters. You need to screen for them so we can get them to get those nice arm-piercing throwing axes here up against the Chosen. Beasts of Tashnar are back. Could we get them moving here? It looks like Kolek is going to be staying nice and close to the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. But it looks like an interesting target here. The Beasts of Tashnar look like they're going to go for Kolek. Oh, he's on his own. This is where you need to go. They're actually going to come behind. He does have 95 armor, but they are anti-large and bonus first large. One punch, and I think they're going to break here almost instantly. Burning Head yet again going through up against the Chosen Halberds. And it looks like here we are going to get the Marauder Hunter Javelins. Fight or Die. Hopefully they can shoot here into the brilliant Kolek. He is super large, so you can see lots of Javelins going straight into him. Looks like we are going to start losing some Familiar Warriors. They are going to be anti-large, armor piercing, and armor sundering, but they have shattered. So Kolek here going to be chasing after a shattered unit, which is unfortunately not too important. When they do shatter, they will be breaking and going off the map permanently. As you can see, some throwing axes here up against the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. I have no idea how he's still handing. But as you can see, balance of power is going to be in the Chaos favor. If they can break the Chaos Lord, it's possible. Fireball out. Can the Fireball catch is the question. Fireball does hit and Fireball kills. That brings back balance of power just a little bit. But we need to get these Marauder Hunters in. You need to get them in, and you need to get them in now before balance of power goes down. Do not let your Familiar Baleffiend of Fire fight too much up against the Chaos Sorcerers with great weapons. Burning Head yet again. So Burning Head's going to go across, and as you can see, we've had 4, if not maybe 5 Burning Heads against the Chosen. They have really not taken much damage. These are pretty much the only tools we're going to have here for the Norskins to remove, but that is going to be balance of power, I think. Yeah, yeah, that will be Balance of Power. A great game here, and a great series. A great series between these two absolute champions. Oh, Potato, I didn't know you were Ruin. Oh, my bad, Potato. It is very cool. Thanks for setting this up, Logic. No problem, Jason. Jason, are you? What's your name in the Discord? Just out of interest. Well, yeah, Ruin. Ruin. I think I put you down in the next league anyway, so you'll be having lots and lots of games. So as you can see here, 1,072 for Kolek Sun Eater, getting deleted so early, but somehow still surviving. 1,440 for the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. We actually got 330. We also got 440 here for the Chaos Marauders, with 240 here for the Chaos Marauders as well. 760, 320 here for the Forsaken. We got 600 for the Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons, 850 for the Chaos Marauders of Great Weapons, 1,950 for the Chosen Halberds, and 1,200. 270 for the Marauder Horsemen, 430 and 277. So not bad overall. Wolfric, 1,338. Here with a Familiar Belfiend, only 530 considering how many Burning Heads we saw. We got 250, 260 and 175 for the Marauders. For the Spearmen, 61 and 260, with 460 and 645 from the Marauder Berserkers. Throwing Axes got 364. 730 for the Javelins, with 540 for the Norscan Ice Walls, 505 for the Beast of Tashnar, with 600 and 1,100 for the Skin Walls, and 450 here from the Familiar Warriors with Great Weapons. Right, so Philox. Oh, you're Treetone. Oh, nice to meet you, Treetone. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm glad it's fun to watch and play, guys. I'm glad it's fun to watch. So, Captain Morgan, I will see you in the final. So what we'll do is remove him. And very quickly, what we'll do, just for you guys here, just for Subnova, as we do pop in here, we'll go into Custom and we'll go into Norsca. Yeah, there we go. So for Norsca, I like the Familiar Belfiend of Fire. He's pretty expensive. You pay for his stats, pretty much. That's what you're paying for. Obviously, it's Armor Sundering and Armor Piercing. I think this matchup, just a normal Chaos Sorcerer of Fire would have been okay on a horse. Always keep Kindle Flame. And he went with a setup a little bit like this. If you guys ever want to know what to bring and why, you always bring this. The Scorodol Shielding is the best value item in the game, period. 69 cost for 57 seconds. That's a whole minute that something gets 20% damage resistance. Always take it. So this was the setup that he generally had. What I would have brought, because here, as you can see, if you take the Familiar Belfiend with exactly the same items, so I think he had all of this like so. You can see there's an extra 400 in cost here, but what you can do for the same cost is I would have taken this. I would have taken the Piercing Bolts of Burning, and then I would have used that. As you can see, they're now still it doesn't cost much more. And with the Piercing Bolts of Burning, I would have used that on any elite units. That's Chaos Warriors, that's maybe Chosen, anything like that. That would have given you an extra spell that you could have used there, and still keep it cheaper here than the Familiar Belfiend, and have him at a reasonable price. It just means he's a little bit squishier, so you do have to protect him a little bit more. And that will also give you enough money that you can maybe buy an extra unit of Marauders, etc., whatever. But it gives you that option there to have an extra spell that can do some really, really good AP, for sure. Alright, so we'll move through here to the next semi-final. That is correct, you can only use it once, but for 60 cost, it's very, very worth it. So, Mr. Undead, where are we? So, how are we doing, buddy? Hope we're doing well. Let's have a look. So, undead, there we are. Mr. Philox, when you are ready, my friend. Grombrindle White Cat. I love it. Alrighty, so a good 2 there for Mr. Captain Morgan. And whilst we are waiting, we'll change Subnova to undead. I'll just put undead. And then we will have Philox. Shadows is fine. I'm not a big fan of Shadows magic. The reason being pretty much the only thing that is useful. The only thing that's going to be useful is pretty much Pendulum, and Pendulum's been nerfed through the floor anyway. Me and Undead had a lot of fun in this tournament. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. And if any of you guys that were watching that had some great games, please send them in for replays for casting, and I will cast them. Hey, Philip, how we doing? Is that Philip? Yeah, Philip, how we doing, Philip? Kinowoski. I wouldn't know how that looks Polish as a guess. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I wouldn't like to try and guess that, just in case I do get it wrong. Right. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here on the channel. I haven't seen you here much before, I don't think, but I hope you're doing well. But yeah, also guys, use this time to ask me any questions as well. Whilst I'm here, I'll be able to give you guys hopefully some feedback, perhaps maybe some more data that you didn't know about before, and you can ask about any particular matchups you'd like to ask about. So Undead, well knowing here, he does like his Tomb Kings. Let's have a look. So it looks like here, howdy, howdy. Yes, he is. So, alright, dope. So Tomb Kings ban Skaven and Bretonnia. Okay. Dark Elves has been picked. Chaos would be a strong pick here. Dowie would be a strong pick here. Anything with armor would be really strong. Nick, how are we? How are we? Warhammer duels? How are we doing? I really located with him earlier that I sent in. Nice. Not the best game because we're both newer, but no, that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me. By logic, in one of your Dowie videos, did you go through every matchup and discuss whether it's dwarf favor or not? I haven't yet, so soon I'm going to, within that series that you guys have got there, so the beginning ones are going to be a little bit longer, and the reason is because I'm literally chopping through the data. I've gone, for the very first one, this is the Dwarfen roster. This is the Dwarfen roster in detail. This is what the entire Dwarfen roster offers. Where they're good, where they're not good, what individual units have to offer, and they struggle with as well. Hey, Rebane, how we doing, buddy? How we doing? Well. Then after that, I went through some builds. It was a little bit shorter, that one. It was about 25-30 minutes where we went through some builds. And then the next one is Captain Morgan's in the final, my friend. Captain Morgan is in the final, so be ready to watch. The DVD clan mate. But yes, then the third one I put up is an hour and a half of me going through where I would rank all of those into their usefulness in the current meta. So you've got those 3 videos at the moment. I'm then going to go and do a video each on every single matchup. So you'll have Dwarfs vs Empire, Dwarfs vs Tomb Kings, and I'll particularly say if the matchup is favoured or not. I would say 100% now that TK really struggle against Dowie. It is very, very difficult. But yes, I'll be going through each matchup individually. I'll be breaking it down from the Dwarfen side, so you guys will see all of them. Yeah, some of the matchups. So Tomb Kings is now unfavoured. Before it was doable. I think now it is almost impossible for the TK. I think TK just do not have the tools to win. I don't think. But guys, this is going to be the second semi-final. If you are enjoying this content, please smash that like button. It would really help the channel, really helps spread out this live stream out to the wider audience. And feel free to subscribe, it would really help. Mr. Hadries, how are we doing? Playing Skyrim, I see. Tut tut. But yeah, that would really help the channel, guys, if you were to do that. But Supreme Sorceress of Fire here, perfect up against the TK. Going to be on a Black Dragon as well. As you can see here, the Arcane Conduit, Opal Amulet. It looks like we are going to have the Burning Head. Flaming Sword of Ruin is also nice as well, so imbue that fire damage. Fireball, and also the Noxious Breath with Kindle Flame. Here we are going to see some Shades. 1, 2, 3 units of Shades. I'm not particularly sure that Shades are needed, but Shades are going to do pretty well indeed. They do actually have that Stalk. So perhaps Stalk, if you are expecting maybe some Yushati Great Bows, could be quite nice. We are going to see some Cold One Knights, the anti-large armor piercing shock cavalry, and on the left-hand side, some Scourge Runner chariots. Now, why I prefer Scourge Runners compared to the Cold One chariots is the fact that they are anti-large and armor piercing missiles that fire whilst moving. In the front, we are going to see some Dread Spears with some Black Ark Corsairs. Black Ark Corsairs are going to be so difficult for the Chaos to deal with. Just armored and anti-infantry is enough to deal with almost every single Chaos infantry. But here we go. We are going to have some Tomb Guard Halberds with some Skeleton Spears in the back. We also have some Skeleton Warriors dotted around the pockets with some Skeleton Spearmen. Some really nice, cheap and cheerful with the Kepra Guard. We will have a unit of the Skeleton Archers. I would rather have some, I'd rather drop the Chosen of the Gods down to normal Yushapti, drop the Skeleton Archers and take 2 Yushapti Great Bows. But in the back, you can already see we're already invested quite a bit. We can already see here that we actually have Gran Hippofan Katep. We will have the Arcane Conduit, also the Incantation of the Righteous Smithing, Incantation of Protection, Incantation of the Cursed Blades, the Leechy Staff, and also My Will Be Done, with also the Restless Dead. Alongside here with another Casket of Souls. So on the DJ machine today, both the DJ machines are going to be very strong, and so are the Yushapti Great Bows. That is the only problem with taking chariots in this matchup. Yushapti Great Bows can just absolutely carve them apart. Over in the trees, we're going to see some Nekahara Horsemen. Very strong in this matchup for sure. Very fast, 78 speed. But they will get absolutely dumpstered by Cold One Knights. So looks like they're both underway. Good luck. Have fun, gents. 1,000, yes. So as you can see, nearly 3 to 1 in that ratio. Crazy stuff. But of course, a lot of them are going to be like 120 Skeleton Spearmen, not too elite here. I would say for every single matchup, Tomb Kings are even against the Elves in every single matchup, I think. Pretty sure. So what you need to do here is you need to use both of your casket of DJs to pretty much snipe on top of the Black Hawk Corsairs. The rest you're not really too worried about. It's just you need, yeah, there we go, perfect shots out the gate. That's exactly where you need to stay. You need to delete these units, heavily armored. They need to be removed. Once you've removed those, it's then removing the shades. You need to have your shot to great bows, and immediately they are going to be shooting into the Scourge Runner chariots, doing some pretty good damage early on. The others are going to come in, so you do have to be careful. Scourge Runner chariots, more than likely going to be shooting in the middle here up against the Kepler Guard. More than likely where they should be. But as you can see, there's some real gaps in this force. These gaps can be pushed in from some Scourge Runner chariots really easily, and they can also compromise Grand Hippofant Katep. So we do have to be careful. In the trees here, we can see that have been compromised are going to be the Nekahara Horsemen. That they get charged here by the very heavily armoured Cold One Knights. There's not particularly too much to stop them. We are going to have to shoot them because that's all we've got left in the pocket. But as we can see, immediately some nice work here from Undead immediately. But we could get a Burning Head. And this is why you do not stack them in the same line. No, the Kepler Guard are going to walk through all the good micro. Good micro. We are going to get them out. Burning Head here. We are going to move forward here with these Skeleton Spearmen. Burning Head does actually die off. It is going to clip these spears. Ah, it's going to go straight through spears as well. Breath attack here onto the Skeleton Archers. That's why you do not stack your spearmen like so when you have a Firecaster with Burning Head. That is going to break apart the front line. We are now going to start moving in with Bleak Swords, but these boys do need to start moving. In this way, what you can actually do, don't move your Tomb Guard out, keep your Tomb Guard in the middle, put some cheap Skeleton Warriors to chase after this, these Scourge Runner chariots. Push them off, put them in melee combat, and make sure they move away. Here we go. This is a really nice play. We are going to see some Tomb Guard Halberds fighting alongside the Nekahara Horsemen with now their triple souls of tier 3. And they're going to be fighting up against the Knights. Good armor piercing there. Healing faction wide. But as you can see, this pocket over here is super empty. The Black Dragon is in the middle. Going to be fighting up against Grand Hippofant Katep. But looks like here we do need to get these Tomb Guard Halberds. Halberds need to come in. Spears need to come over here as well. Those shots, where are we going? Looks like the shots are going to be targeting Black Hawk Corsairs. We now need to shut down the Shades. The Shades are the next target. Moving in though, this is scary. This is a problem. We can see that the Casket of Souls is now being pushed onto here by the Cold One Knights and also the Supreme Sorcerers of Fire. But we are going to be shooting with the Chosen of the Gods. So Righteous Smithing going down, base weapon damage and armor piercing missile damage going into the Supreme Sorceress. Opal Amulet, but she's going to be taking a truckload of damage. Big shots in here. Nice shots up against the Cold War Knights. Burning Head in this pocket, though. That is dangerous. Looks like we're going to get away with it. Looks like we are going to get away with it, but there's nothing to stop the Chosen of the Gods here fighting. They could fight in combat. Start getting those melee stats. They do have 65 armor-piercing weapon strength. They could certainly punch here up against the Supreme Sorceress. Keep them in combat. Move in your Tomb Guard Halberds. Big shots in here as well. Nice shots there from Grand Hippofant. If we can break the Supreme Sorceress, which we have, we can now start shooting her with the Chosen of the Gods. Drop back your infantry. You now need to start dealing with the chariots and also start dealing with the rest of the Cold One Knights. Katep is going to be getting shot by the single chariot in the back though, so you just have to be careful. That damage can rack up over time. 223 per shot is something that is pretty dangerous. So he's going to be taking damage. He's going to be taking damage. Looks like that's just a let's go. Good luck, have fun from both sides. Looks like here we are going to be getting away with the Supreme Sorceress. Shots are still going to go in the sky. Righteous Smithing could be very nice here. Also, if you use Righteous Smithing, you'll actually get the Lishi Staff pop, which means you won't be able to use any means of magic for 15 seconds. Big shots in the sky. Breaking here is going to be the Supreme Sorceress. She's going to go down to 214 HP. Very close to shattering, I imagine. Negative 24, she's down to, and she does go down. Fantastic stuff there. Really, really nice work from those Chosen of the Gods. Now we just need to shoot here into those Scourge Runner chariots. Still 3 models with 330 HP. That's crazy to think that there's still 3 models there. Looks like here the skeletons, looks like the Incantation of the Cursed Blade is going to be aiding with that base weapon damage and the armor piercing, fighting up against the Dread Spears. Just so they can hold that a little bit longer and do a little bit more damage here up against the Dread Spears. But it looks like fighting in combat is going to be the Chosen of the Gods Shishapti. And still moving around are 2 elite units of the Tomb Guard Halberds. In the back though, looks like we have the Cold War Knights here fighting up against Grand Hippofant Katep. And there's nothing to protect him. That's why you have to keep, in the back, you have to keep some level of Halberds here to help. Now they're going to be playing a little bit of pinball here with Grand Hippofant Katep, but only for a short time. Looks like the Cobalt Knights have been pushed off here using the Skeleton Warriors, so some nice push there from a cheap unit. And it looks like here we are going to be moving back the Skeleton Warriors here against the Shades. They're going to be certainly creating some distance between the front line and them. Getting away just about is going to be Katep. Oh, Katep needs to use his protection. He needs to use Incantation of Protection now, I think. Moving in are going to be the Skeleton Warriors. They might be able to aid, give some distance between Katep and the rest. But we are going to be breaking the Cold One Knights. Nice. Negative 21 leadership. Balance of power still super even. We still have some Shades online. Shades need to get around the corner. They need to forget about shooting these Tomb Guard Halberds. They need to delete Grand Hippofan Katep. He can shoot over the top and remove those Shades in a matter of seconds. Big shots here in the front. Looks like they're going to be hitting straight into the Bleak Swords. It looks like here we do have the Shades also shooting into the backside of the Tomb Guard Halberds. And it looks like the Dread Spear is going to be fighting up against the Skeleton Warriors. We do have some aid here from the Chosen of the Gods. But it looks like they are going to be taking damage over time. We can see they are going to be down on leadership. -6, which means they will be taking damage. And in come the Bleak Sword. The Bleak Sword should be able to turn over the tide here, unfortunately. Nice shots there. Break and a shatter for the Bleak Swords. Really nice work. Now we need to get Grand Hippofan Katep in. We need to shoot here. We need to use as much Winter Magic as constantly as possible as well. Get as much healing going forward for the faction as you can. Because with that there, with the Nekaharo, you're going to get 56 healing for every single unit that you still have left on the battlefield. -40 leadership, which means the Skeleton Warriors, they will die eventually. But it's going to be the same here for the Chosen of the Gods, Ushapti. -38 leadership. It's not looking very good for them indeed. In the back, the Dread Spears, they are going to get chased off the edge of the field. There's still quite a way to go. It looks like here those Bleak Swords have shattered. Coming back is going to be the Dread Spears. Dying there is going to be the unit. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for them to get here before... Yeah, so it looks like they are going to go down. And now it's going to be the Shades versus the World. Protection. And it looks like Arcane Conduit as well. And it looks like the Tomb Guard Halberds are going to be pushing the Shades. Shades cannot fire whilst moving. Have a look. Let's see what sort of accuracy we've got here. Pretty good damage there. Pretty good damage. I think actually, if you remove the Dread Spears here, you have to engage with the range. You have to stay in fighting combat because they can't keep running like this because they're not firing whilst moving, which means they're not fulfilling the attacking rule. So it looks like Skeleton Warriors fighting up against Dread Spears. So we've got 18 and 22 up against 26 and 42. So that's going to be an 8% hit roll there for the Skeleton Warriors. They really do not have enough attack animation to get through up against the Dread Spears, I don't think. It might not quite be 8%, it might be about 10%, but still, it's not looking strong. They have broken them. That's really, really good. So they do have to now engage. Shades are inbound. They can now be seen, and that's why you start shooting with Grand Hippofan. Now you need to get in, now you need to shoot. Skeleton and Spearmen, they're still around. This is a super close game. It looks like it is going to start to favour here for the Tomb Kings. Big shots. What are we going to see here from this? That is a gorgeous hit there. That could actually break those Shades. It has broken the Shades. Very nice work. Running away still is going to be the Shades. It is not in the favour of the Dark Elves here to run. They have to fight. In the back, we are going to see some Dread Spears. Still quite a favourable amount of ammunition here. 3 ammunition for Grand Hippofan. If he uses it correctly, it could be very good. As you can see, running away is not going to help. You have this amazing pivot point here in the middle. They are actually going to shatter. So I'm going to say that the Dark Elves must engage. They have engaged here. Because unfortunately the rest of their infantry is going to be broken. Shades are back here. No, that is scary. But good work there from Undead. He recognises that. He is going to push. They are going to shatter. And that is going to be army losses. And what a great semi-final game that was. That was super, super close. Super close. Awesome stuff. My boy DJ Katep coming with that wicket. Lovely. As we can see, 2,350 there on those DJ decks. Fantastic. 181 kills. He's very, very good at the moment. He is very good indeed. 245, 390, 120, 86 with 117, 118, 30, and 150 with 568 for these skeleton spearmen. They certainly would have been fighting here up against Cold War Knights. 350, 486 there for Two Guard Halberds, and only 41 for the Kepra Guard. We got 350 for the Skeleton Archers, 200 for the Nekahar Horsemen, 450, with 3,870 for the Chosen of the Gods, Yashupti, with also 488 for the Casket of Souls. You always kind of want to keep at least a unit of Spearmen on your Casket of Souls. It just kind of puts people, sorry, I thought the Dark Elves, it kind of, alrighty. But what an amazingly close game there. So we'll go through to the second map, which is going to be the Bone Zone. Where is it? Pillar of Bone. Yes, I just told Undead to save that if he had it. What a great game. What a great game. Yeah, it was a really cool game. Yeah, these beats are way too hyped, mate. Way too good. Dropping it down here was Undead with the absolute scratches, mate. Alrighty, roger that. Alright, just double checking. We got no messages there. So that's going to be the Dubsky here. It's going to be one from Mr. Undead. Good stuff from him. Now game 2, map is set, Pillar of Bone. It looks like we are going to be having Vampirates up against Greenskins. So I shall ban VC and Dowie. Who did he pick? And pick Greenskins. Okie dokie. VC and Dowie. That is a strange one. That is not one you see often. As the Dowie main, I wouldn't like to go up against Greenskins, if I'm honest. But yeah. Let's go, my G. Undead won the game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he did. Just asking you guys a question. There we go. So what's your thoughts? So which is the scariest faction to come from the newest DLC? So are we thinking Beastmen? Are we thinking Lizardmen, Dwarves? Or is it another faction entirely with all the updates? What is going to be the scariest thing for you? I'm ready, I believe. All right. Logic, Dwarves versus Greenskins is quite Dowie favoured. No. just no. It's not. As far as I'm aware, it's not. It definitely wasn't before the patch. Before the patch, it was probably in their top 4 worst matchups. Now it's still pretty terrible. I really don't think it is. Obviously, TK is the scariest logic. Well, vote for another faction then. If you said other, write down below if you feel confident to. Write down below what other faction you think. So obviously, Undead of course thinks TK. What do you think, Rebane? What's the other scariest faction? Ask Gromby. Yeah, myself and Gromby have very different opinions of what we think is good about the Dowry roster. I really respect Gromby as a dwarf player. So full gyro build is also easily countered. And the Greenskin player knows what they're doing at the very, very top level. Greenskins can easily counter gyro build. But no one really uses gyro build, CJ. Like, I would say within the entire Warhammer community, I'm probably the main one that uses gyrocopter builds like competitively. I don't really know any others that really do use gyro builds. But here, as we can see, we are going to have the Ragnarok Queen. So the Queen herself out today for the Greenies. We are going to have the Maternal Instincts, which can summon those spider hatchlings. Poison 100-meter range, lots of ammunition, 380 bonus for large armor piercing, and poison 70 melee attack. 120 armor here for the lady herself, looking very, very scary. Over here on the right, we are going to have the double gobos, mixing in with the Black Orc Big Boss and Wurzag. Here in the front, we are going to have some Orc Boys, some more Orc Boys. Looks like 5 units of those bad boys indeed. Oh, and some big uns. So we're going to see some big uns in the back for the anti-large. I think actually they just have bonus for large and bigger and ardor. But here we are going to have the Black Orc Big Boss, who will have heroic killing blow. Get back here, and the Dragon Slayer's Fang. So it looks like he's gone with everything. So if I have any recommendations as a Greenskin player, so Greenskins is my second faction. If I have anything to say, I think the only 2 that are worth it for him are the Brass Cleaver and Rabble Rouse. I think the rest you definitely don't want this. The other 2 you could easily live without. Here we're also going to have Wurzag. Wurzag here will have the Effigy of Degit. Get back in. Foot of Gork, Fist of Gork, as well as the Bonewood Staff, the Squiggly Beast, and Wurzag's Revenge. So yeah, lots of good items there. Over in the corner, I can't see what that is. We are going to see 2 units of the Scurvy Doggos. So I think Scurvy Dogs were sent in the idea of Skirmish Cavalry, which we do have some here. So we're going to have 2 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers and 2 units of the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers on the right. So 2 Doggos in the back. And for the mass force here, we are going to have some Zombie Pirate Deccan Polearms 3 in the back. And on the plains, we are going to have some Zombie Pirate Deccans, the normals, 5 dotted around the pocket. Double bombers in the middle with double handgunners and also the double handgunner Gunnery Whites. Gunnery Whites here on Crab with the Scab Scraith, more powder, also the Pigeon Plucker. Now, I don't like this because it only targets flying units. I don't think it's worth it, personally, but I see a lot of people take a lot of items. I think dropping both of those and picking up an extra unit of Ranger Infantry would have 100% been more worth it. But Cow Knockers here with the Captain Roth's Moondial, Wrathstorm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation of Nehek, the Drowned Dead, the Curse of Undeath, and also Abandoned Ship. Perfect there. In the sky, we are going to have the Deck Dropper Bombers, 2 units of the Bombers, but no handguns. Very surprising. Handguns are normally seen in selection here. I would be very happy if someone took Queen Bess against me. With my Greenskins, if someone took Queen Bess against me, I'd be very happy. I think. Also, CJ, if you look at Grombrindle's picks for If you go onto the Karak chat and you look at his picks for the Dowie and you look at my picks for the Dowie, we have very different opinions. Not that either opinion is right or wrong, just different opinions. But here, as you can see in the back, a lovely spell going to come through. Oh, Foot of Gork actually going to slam straight down here on these zombies. So it looks like the Bomber's going to get hit really hard there. I don't know if that was worth it, because that Overcast actually did some big damage, or at least there was some good gun damage here up against the Deck Dropper Bombers. Now, absolutely no range here, apart from the Skirmish Cavalry, is going to be pretty dangerous. Wrathstorm here in the middle, going to pretty strongly delete here. And there's nothing to stop Wurzag from getting shot. Wurzag is going to break, and you could push using the Bombers here. If you push using the Bombers on top of Wurzag, you could win this pretty early on, I think. So we're going to be shooting here. We're going to be a near miss on Wurzag. We do actually have the boys forward. The boys are going to be fighting, and they're going to be deleting zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Bomber's going to be shooting up against the anti-large orc biggins. And if they remove the biggins, there's nothing to take down Noculus or the crabs. Spider hatchlings in the middle. Spider hatchlings are going to move through. I think they're going to target Noculus. Yes, they are. They're going to target Noculus, and they're going to stop him from trying to shoot. Skirmish Cavalry still going, so they're going to be shooting the Scurvy Doggos. Those Doggos can keep moving. They've got 95 speed. There's no poison, nothing to stop them. Coming back is going to be Wurzag. Wurzag is going to get shot here from these bombs in the sky. Handgunners here will just delete him in a matter of seconds. As you can see, Scurvy Jogs are going to chase the Goblin Wolf Riders. Immune to Psychology going down with that 24 melee attack, base weapon damage, and to armor piercing. That's really going to help them punch through the front line here. But as we can see, what's going to be difficult is going to be the Arachnarok Queen. She is going to be in the middle, deleting a Gunnery White alongside here with the Black Orc Big Boss, giving 80 melee attack here with that increase by the Brass Cleaver. Scabscrath in the middle, doing some good damage here up against the Orc Boys and the Second as well. But here, it looks like the Arachnarok Queen is going to be struggling here up against the double Gunnery Power. What you need to do is actually get the second Black Orc Big Boss to fight here up against the second one, because otherwise the Queen here is going to be getting shot. A summon here in the middle, which is going to be the Zombie Pirate Deckhands. We are going to be able to drop back. We do have Invocation of the Heck here on Undead, with some really nice plays here in the middle. Looks like here Wrathstorm is going to be really hitting hard. Fist of Gork did go down for 94 melee attack, but it's not going to be enough here to protect the Arachnarok Queen. She's going to be getting shot by the artillery piece, which is Count Noculus. And it's looking pretty dire here, unfortunately, for the Greenskins. Skirmish Cavalry is going to be really struggling. If the Skirmish Cavalry goes, you're going to be getting full value here from the Bombats. And I don't know, it's looking pretty dire, unfortunately. Doggos here are going to be fighting up against the Orc Biggins, stopping them from getting on top of Noculus. They are now going to be supporting the Black Orc Big Boss, giving them plus 10 melee attack as well. Giving them 48 melee attack is very strong indeed. So it's like the Bombats are going to be shooting into the Orc Biggins as they try and fight here up against the Gunnery White. The Arachnarok Queen does come back. She's going to be trying to come straight back into the front line, but 3 leadership going up to 9. I don't know. She could break immediately on getting near the front line. 1,400 HP for her. It's looking very difficult here. So the Lord was dead for -10. Where's that going was unfortunate, but guns here in the back just going to be spraying straight into the Orc Boys. You're going to be seeing the double handgunners just absolutely ripping apart Orc Boys here. I don't know if Ward's going to be enough. You can see the Orc Boy Biggin's going to be fighting here up against the Zombie Pirate Polearms. Noculus is going to do okay up against the Black Orc Big Boss. He does have 65 melee attack. Oh, a lovely Scabscrath there in the middle. That was a gorgeous Scabscrath indeed. Another Scabscrath here, straight through the front line up against the Orc Biggins. Balance of Power is starting to come back to even though. We are going to shatter from the Goblin Wolf Riders. It is starting to stabilise. If we get some big work here on Noculus, we can start bringing it back in. We can see that the Arachnarok Queen is going to be fighting over here. She's going to be fighting and winning here up against the Gunbats. Gunbats were chasing down the Spider Hatchlings. But it looks like here it is going to be hand-on-hand combat. Black Orc Big Boss here fighting up against Noculus. Noculus is not known as a good melee combatant. 30 melee defense. He does have 46 melee attack, so he could do some good work. Not too sure what we're expecting here. So get back here, plus 16 leadership. 65 melee attack is strong. He is about 50%. He is about 50% leadership, so he should be getting the added armor. So he should be getting 23 armor and 10 melee defense, but it looks like he's not getting it. Great point. If his hit points are greater than 50% base, He is going to break. He isn't going to get the full value from that, unfortunately. And it is going to be a big win here from Mr. Undead. Coming through with the double dubski. Love to see it. Love to see it. Really well played, Philox. It was really awesome to see your plays. But 618 for Wurzag, 715 for the Black Orc. Big Boss, 266 and 237 for the Gobbos. 122 kills, 468 here for the Orc Boys. 414, 443, 400 and 308. 227, 167 kills for 370 from the Orc Boy Biggins. 105, 44, 201 and 183 from the Goblin Wolfrider Archers, with 1,550 from the Ragnarok Queen. 1,850 here for Count Noculus, 1,300 and 1,400 from the Gunnery White, with 225, 85, 130, 170 and 112. We got 240, 330 and 160 from the Pole Arms, with 180 and 29 for the Bombers, with 630, 1,000 here from the Hand Gunners, with 201 and 280 for the Scurvy Dogs, and 370 and 440 from the Deck Bombers. Yeah, so some gorgeous work here from both sides. Really, really nice plays. GG's, well played indeed. Beastmen, it looking like it's going to be the scariest. Beastmen is scary. Beastmen is scary. There is no doubt. So we get the double up here for Mr. Undead, and it's looking pretty strong so far from him. Can he do the same, though, up against the big man himself, Mr. Captain Morgan? So he said it was going to be scary if he got into the final, and got into the final he did. I'm so bad on myself because I misclicked the spell. Instead of hitting 3 units of gunneries. Ah, I see. I see. What do you mean, no, what do you mean, no, I cannot. You cannot what, Mr. Undead? What can you not do, sir? I do not understand. Mr. Captain Morgan, you are up in the final, my friend. Let's get you in here. Thanks for playing, Philox. I really appreciate it. Hello, Mr. Caradoc. We're actually going to be going into the final, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing really well. Nice to see you here. And for anybody that is interested, from Mr. Caradoc reminding me, Battlemania will be this Friday, so make sure you are signed up in there. I'm going to be releasing it tonight, so make sure you're all signed up. Win against Captain Morgan. I've been dreading this fight. I think it's going to be an exceptional fight between you two. So for those guys that might not know, so whether it's Nick or Caradoc, this is actually going to be the short bid only tournament, which means only new players can play in this tournament, but we are going to be going to the final of that tournament. So let's get Mr. Captain Morgan. I will get you next time. Thanks for hosting. Absolutely no problem, my friend. No problem at all. So let's get him in. Let's get him in. We are looking. Captain Morgan. Good spell, gentlemen. Best of 5. Best of 5. But how are you, Mr. Caradoc? How are you doing? By the way, Logic, can I ask you an irrelevant question? I'm sure you can. Ask away. It'll be a very good fight, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm very excited. I am very excited. Very excited for this game. So it looks like a lot of you are saying Beastmen. How did your club do against Manchester? Oh, I didn't actually look. I've been so busy, I haven't actually looked. I imagine not well against United, to be honest. We've had a really bad start. We've had 3 tough teams, so I haven't actually looked. Oh, we lost 1-0. Yeah, so we're in relegation. I mean, Arsenal are at the bottom, so I mean, we've had Manchester United, Tottenham, and Leicester City. So we lost all of them 1-0 as well. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's an 80-minute goal as well. God damn. What does the winner get? The winner, that hasn't been announced yet, Mr. Caradoc. That hasn't been announced yet. Hope Arsenal will replace Arteta. I mean, I think he's had his chance. I think Arteta has had his chance. He needs to be replaced, I think, at this point. Yes, dinner with logic. There you go. That's what they get. Dinner with logic. No, so essentially this is this is a tournament. So what we do here, just to let you know, Caradoc, for the short beard in general, when you are a short beard, you play in leagues and in tournaments. Now, the whole idea of it with the league is you get progressed through the league. So we have at the bottom, we have the Urkra Miners. Then you move up into the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Then you move up into the Grumbling Guards, and then you move up into the Peak Gate Guard. So as you can see, pretty obvious, you move up through the ROR tiers for the Dowie. And when you get to the Peak Gate Guard, if you win the Peak Gate Guard, which this season we had Cowboy Bob and we also had Dilatron that both won it, they progress and then they become Longbeards. Once you become a Longbeard, you leave the tournament, and essentially you should have enough tournament experience, which you get here from the Norgrimlings tournament, and you should have enough league experience from best of threes to go ahead and be competitive in the scene and have an idea how challenge works, how finding games in Discourse works, understanding the rules, essentially being able to navigate your way around essentially the Warhammer scene, because it is difficult for new players here. It is really difficult to understand it all. I didn't get it when I started. I mean, I'm pretty new as well, so I think a lot of people forget I've only been here for 6 months. I haven't played much at all. You know, I've only played 6 months, and before this, I'd also never played strategy games. I'd only ever played first-person shooters. So for me, all of this is new. Everything about Warhammer, all of it, it's all new. It's all new. Spurs are the new old gunners, grinding out them 1-0 wins. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. All right, so, I don't know how this happened. So I will go High Elves, ban Greenskins and Brett. I will go with VC. I hope that my VC are up to scratch. I don't play them much. I'm really sorry to tell you, Undead. Really sorry to tell you. This is probably top 3 worst matchups in the game. If Captain Morgan knows what he's doing, I don't know what you can do about this. This is really tough. I'm sure Caradoc or Zyver can tell you this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Probably top 3 worst matchups, I think. Man City Arsenal 5-0 was expected. I don't think 5-0 was expected. I think a loss was expected, but not 5-0. Not 5-0. That should not have happened. Considering City they only have one striker. That was not expected. Sorry for all of you that don't talk football. I do apologise. Do tell me to shut up. So anyone here that is perhaps watching, this is the Shortbeard League, or in fact this is going to be the Norgrimlings tournament, which is sort of attached to the Shortbeard League. So when you are a Shortbeard, you have to be a new player, preferably less than 6 months if you can, but some people might be longer than that and might not play as often as others. So for example, I would say I played 6 months, but I've been casting for 6 months, playing intensely for 6 months, doing all of it for 6 months. So for someone like me, it probably wouldn't be fair for me to be in the league, and also I'm hosting it, so I shouldn't be. But if you are new, you haven't played much, you've maybe got a couple of 100 hours in the game where you played some single player, you've not really played multiplayer before, feel free to come join the Discord where you can jump in and give it a go. Come play myself, Zypher, Muckluck, also come play Biblington, see where we can put you in the league, and have some fun for a couple of weeks. The Shortbeard format is a spot-on learning at a pace that suits. Also, having time to arrange matchups really helps me. Well, I'm really glad for that, Parkerillo. That's essentially what I want this league to be. I essentially want this league to be where it is a good environment that has enough time for you guys to prepare yourselves, get yourself in, have some nice best of threes, get some good experience, and work out how this is a terrible matchup for the Vampire Counts. Alright, so for the Vampire Counts, we're going to be seeing some Graveguard Great Weapons. It looks like at least 4. 1, 2. Oh, okay. Zombies. Okay. So in the back here, we are going to have some Skeleton Warriors, Sternsman Graveguard, the Conkenstein Stalkers, Graveguard, and we are going to have a Mortis Engine. Mortis Engine's nice. So we'll have the Binding as well as the Tome and also the Corruption. Now it's not ethereal. I know it looks ethereal, but it's not. But it does cause terror, so you do have to be careful. We have 1 Vargolf, and in the sky we are going to have the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. Now not here on a dragon, but we will have the Storm of the Night. Very good there to deal with any flying units. We'll also have the Sword of Anti-Heroes, the Charmed Shield, Flock of Doom, Invocation of the Heck, and the Curse of Undeath. So double Vargolf, but no summons. So lots of zombies in the front, but no summons is kind of scary. And we are going to see some Blood Knights on one flank, and just a single unit. So here, for the High Elves, very rarely seen at the moment, so I'm very happy to see them here today. We are going to be having the Elite Silvering Guard. So I like the Silvering Guard, very good. 30% magic resistance, 4 units in the front. And with that magic resistance, makes them super tanky. Expert charge defense, 75 armor, silver shield, so they negate a lot of missiles incoming. So they're very, there should be 55%. So 55% of all missiles when they're facing the correct direction. Also very strong magic resistance, makes them super tanky. 75 armor is okay. It's a little bit on the lower side for their cost, but the stats, 42 melee defense, and that's before you even take into account having martial prowess. That's plus 12 melee defense, so that should be 54 melee defense. They're pretty tanky as well. So overall, they're very good tanky units. In the back here, we are going to be having, it looks like some Lothrin Seaguard, 1, 2, 3 Lothrin Seaguard, and we're going to have some more Spearmen as well. In the sky, we are going to have Alariel the Radiant and double Sun Dragons. Sun Dragons here, Terra, as well as those Sun Dragon Breaths. We are going to have the Star of Avalon, Arcane Conduit, Tempest, Earthblood, the Fair's Protection, the Boon of Isha, which I don't think's worth it, but we've taken it anyway, the Shield of Safari, and also Life Bloom. I think the Boon of Isha was, it is a rare item that's very expensive. So Flock of Doom here. Tempest is going to slow down him, and we are going to move in with the Sun Dragons. This looks scary, unfortunately. Tempest, negative 60 speed. We are going to be throwing up as well the Storm of the Night. But unfortunately, Ariel is going to be able to catch here. Ariel, I don't know who wins here in combat. We could really use... We don't actually have Dan's Macabre here for the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. He's going to be having 70 melee attack, though. Big hit, though, coming out of L'Ariel. We want to get these Sun Dragons in. These Sun Dragons need to fight here up against the Von Carstein Lord. Vargolf's moving in the front. Not protected here are going to be the Lothran Sea Guard. That is really scary. Vargeists are going to move in and start slamming home up against the Lothran Sea Guard. And it looks like here, Alarielle, 110 speed, she's taken some struggles here. Breath attack could be really nice from behind. Otherwise, take all three of these and go snipe that Mortis Engine. There's nothing to stop you. Looks like here we are going to get a Flock of Doom in the middle. That Vargolf is really going to be struggling here. Don't know what the leadership's all about. Looks like getting attacked from the rear. Going to be losing in combat. All those things as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a freeze here. I think we're back. Alright, looks like we're back. Alario is going to try and chase, but 70 melee attack here on the Von Carstein. He could turn around and poke here for sure. So we could get a breath attack here. A breath attack would be ideal. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to get. Breath attack does some decent damage. No magic resistance. Get another breath attack down as well, I would. Just keep damaging here. Keep getting all that damage onto that single entity. He's going to destroy Silveringard. Now, they do have magic resistance, so that can help. But as we can see in the middle here, the Vargolf is going to be struggling. He is going to be wavering. Did we get a breath attack down there? I didn't see. The breath attack there is going to be fire-based, so we'll do extra damage up against the Vargolf. Now, you are going to have to constantly move here. Charm Shield going down for extra protection. Mr. Bob Tresh, how are we doing? Didn't see the other one, unfortunately. Vermintide, love to see that. Love to see that. Looks like Storm of the Night is going to go down on Alariel. Actually doing some decent damage. He could turn and burn here. He could turn and burn. That would be Alariel down. That would be super scary. She's going to go down. We really need... Yeah, we go. Star of Avalon. Knowing exactly what he's doing here. So nice stuff here from Captain Morgan. We're going to be moving in with those dragons as well. Really trying to delete the Mortis Engine. It is looking scary here for the undead. Going high in the sky. Arcane Conduit. She's going to move in at that 110 speed. She's going to get caught though. Oh, big hit. Could we get a Tempest out is the question. Tempest would be nice. Tempest here. Good damage up against the Von Carstein Lord. That looks to be overcasted Earthblood going down. That is actually going to break her if you're not careful. Don't know where that overcasted Earthblood went down. So as we can see here, unfortunately, the Mortis Engine is going to go down. That's going to be a huge loss here. Huge loss. Looks like the Sun Dragon's going to be fighting in the middle. Alariel is going to get popped on here by the Vargolf. The Vargolf could slap. Ah, you need to get her out of there. But she looks like she's going to be pinned in with Sternsman Graveguard. We have zombies, and it looks like here's some more armor-piercing Graveguard as well. She's going to be fighting in the middle. Oh my god, that's a nice breath attack there. That's a good breath attack. Killing the zombies. Good hit on Sternsman as well. Extra fire damage done as well. Fighting over here on the right-hand side, we are going to be seeing... I can't quite see what's in there. Looks like we did just lose some units. We're going to be having the Conquering Stalkers and zombies fighting up against Silveringard. And shots here coming from the Lothran Sea Guard. Looks like the Sun Dragon is going to be weak. Alariel is going to be at her healing cap. Very free is going to be the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. Considering you have air superiority, you do need to start using the Sun Dragons. Start fighting up. Getting some breath attacks in as well could be quite handy. Blood Knight's going to be charging in the back. Should be a big boy charge coming through here. Look at that charge. Oh my god. Absolutely spearing this Lothran Sea Guard. How they're only wavering, they haven't shattered yet. I certainly would have run myself. But it looks like here we are going to be having a Tempest. A Tempest for a trade here. Look at that. What a fantastic animation coming through from both these guys. We can see the Vortex spell going to stop here. Big hits coming through for the Dragon. Sun Dragon is going to be fighting here. Some big hits in from behind. That'd be only 30% of the melee defense if you do hit from the rear. So as we can see, that Sun Dragon's still going to be coming. Can we get a breath attack in maybe? Could be the question. He's going to be juking back and forward here, moving left and right, trying to miss all of the hits coming through from the Sun Dragon here. Some lovely micro from Undead for sure. Big shots coming in from the Lothran Sea Guard, but yet another push here. As we can see, getting down, lances down, charging through, spearing straight into those Elven archers. Fantastic work there from the Blood Knights. In the sky though, wavering and could be dying, could be the Sun Dragon here. fighting up against the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. He is going to break, but what is Alarielle going to do? One Sun Dragon is super healthy, but we do need to delete these single entities. They are very strong indeed. Chasing off is the perfect ideal here for the Sun Dragon. Looks like that's not going to happen. If we do get an Earthblood here from Alarielle, I don't quite know. She's over here. If we can wrap around, get an Earthblood, we could bring back in that Sun Dragon, and that would be huge. We need to start using some breath attacks here. We don't know how much longer we're going to get left on the battlefield. Sun Dragon is negative 11 HP, negative 11 leadership, 80 damage, 6 from exhaustion, 5 from flank secure. I don't see it happening. I think it's going to fly off the edge of the battlefield, I'm afraid. Star of Avalon going down, healing here for all entities involved. Looks like Alarielle could go down here for the Von Carstein. Could we hit, though, with the Sun Dragon? Sun Dragon's doing some big hits. Big hits going down here. Lovely healing as well, going on the Silvering Guard. Alarielle is going to be a healing cap. She's not going to get any more from that. She needs to run away from the Vargolf. She wants nothing to do with that Vargolf. Vargolf is going to start slamming here up against the Silvering Guard. But let's have a look. Looks like Von Carstein, a sort of anti-hero. It's the extra armor piercing and base weapon damage. He's going to be chasing from Alarielle. You have to keep that Sun Dragon close. That Sun Dragon cannot run away. He is going to be coming here after the Vargolf. Could he break and kill the Vargolf? The Vargolf trade from Alarielle. No! Alarielle is going to get hit. She's going to get hit hard. She's going to be down to 230 HP. Negative 24 leadership. She is going to break. Is she going to die, though, is the question. She is faster. But pushing off using the Von Carstein Lord could be really, really big. If we get the Sun Dragon in, we need to kill the Vargolf now. It has to be a trade for a trade. And even then, we have anti-large Blood Knights that can really do some big damage deal here up against the Sun Dragon. Some excellent micro here. Could we get some shots on the Lothran Seaguard, though, is the question. Negative 10 leadership, 230 health. If she gets pushed off the edge of the map, this could be scary. Vargolf is going to be struggling there in the middle. Negative 7 leadership, 580. Looks like it's going to be just about regenning to keep alive. Shots are going to be fired into the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. But Alarielle is gone. That's going to be negative 16 leadership. That is going to break the Sun Dragon without a shadow of a doubt. She's off. Everything is going to break. That is going to be army losses, I think. The only thing holding on is the Lothran Seaguard. The Lothran Seaguard have to run. They have to shoot and hope that they stabilize. Things are going to shatter here. Oh, we still have some Silvering Guard. Is it going to come back? And it's army losses. Oh, that was such a close game. That was such a close game. God damn, what a game. What a game. That was so good. 294 kills as well for the Silvering Guard. God damn. Right, let's move through this. 1,700 from Alarielle, the Radiant. 610 for the Spearman. 480, 650, 970, 705, and 1,160 for the Silvering Guard. 840, 730, and 525 for the Lothran Seaguard, with 2,170 and also 930 for the Sun Dragon. We got 5,000 damage value here. 5,000 from the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. God damn, 5,000 damage value. God damn, that's incredible. 1,506 for the Skeleton Warriors, 250 for the Kongenstein Stalkers, 1,680 for the Graveguard, 1,100 for the second unit, and for the Sternsman, 900. 2,266 for the Blood Knights, with 408, and 1,300 for the second Vargolf, with 1,018 for the Mortis Engine. Now that was an awesome game. That was an awesome game. Let's see what you guys are saying. It was entertaining to see dragons in action. It's nice to see dragons here. It is nice to see. Yeah, he did spend a little bit too much time chasing the Cast Iron Lord, indeed. But, yeah. So it's only a free win if you sort of really know what you're doing. And it would seem that, you know, Phoenix Guard are a brilliant pick in this matchup. A Phoenix Guard box is certainly the way to go. But if you don't know that, you don't know that. And, you know, it's difficult. Cetra does not serve, indeed. Cetra does not serve. Yeah, very good win indeed. Very good win, Undead. No, you're fine, Undead. This is a competition. This is a competition. If you want to play your Undead, you play your Undead. King of the Dead actually only plays Undead factions. That's what it does. Okay, I'll give Beastmen a shot. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Chaos and Dwarfs, so two good bands. I like those bands. Chaos and Dwarfs are very good bands indeed. They're heavily armoured. There's something that Tomb King's really struggle to deal with, for sure. Alright, looks like Undead is ready. This could be a tough matchup. Beastmen is going to be tough. That is not a good sign. Going to be ready nice and early here. I think a little hint as well for you guys. Come on, Captain Morgan. Yes, Mr. Geese Howard. How are you doing, my friend? Some big support in here for the DVD. So, one thing you can do is Shem's Burning Gaze is a really good way at deleting chariots at the moment. It's a really, really good way. Vampire Counts, Norsca would be a really good pick here. Norsca would be very good. Beastmen can do really well here as well, to be fair. Beastmen really can. The Bloodbrute Beer Moth could be quite nice. This matchup with Undead earlier today. Going to be interesting. Oh, okay. Yshopti could do some good work here. Yes, sorry. Map change is Estilian Tomb. I got too comfortable. So we're going to be 1-0 in the final here to Mr. Undead. Torox is the key here. Torox could do really nice. Torox really could. He's amazing with his fire damage, just smashing up those legendary lords. I think you go Torox, you go Brave Shaman on a Tuscal Chariot. Gorball maybe. Gorball could be a nice pick. I think anything with Beastmen in it is Beastmen favoured. But I'd be interested to see or know why you think it's... Because Traderkin just deletes all your chariots. So I'd be interested to see why you think that is. Why do you think it's TK favoured, Mr. CJ? So, for the Beastmen, let's get it going. We're going to be seeing here, we are going to have some Razor Gore herds. Very good armor-piercing, monstrous beasts. In the sky, we are going to have the triple Harpies. Very good for that sky dominance. And also the Gorox Man Rippers. Over here on the right-hand side, we are going to see the Gorgon. Nice anti-large model indeed. And we are going to see a British Shaman of Beasts with Torox, the Brass Bull. Lovely stuff indeed. Now, it looks like here there's going to be no Manticores. Manticores would be... Manticores are very good. Apologies. Manticores are very good indeed. So, Goreherd shields in the front. Ungor spears, spears. And yeah, very interesting. So in the front, we are going to see some Skeleton Horse Archers, 3 units. We're also going to see some Skeleton Warriors, 4 in the front, as well as some Skeleton Archers, Nikahar Warriors, Anti-Infantry, Yashapti Great Bows with the Tomb Guard Halberds, the Kepra Guard on the left, in the middle the Tomb Guard with more Tomb Guard, and it looks like here we are going to have Archon the Black. So Archon the Black here will have the Tomb Blade of Archon, the Staff of Nagash, the Liber Mortis, and Spirit Leech. Looks like we're also going to be having a Tomb Scorpion here to protect Archon the Black on foot. So very interesting. Well, this is going to be wild here, I think. I think here what was expected from Undead was he was expecting to kite. But it looks like, unfortunately, he's going to be getting caught really early on. No, look at this. They're getting deleted. So it looks like the Ungor Spearheads are going to catch. We kind of need to move forward with the Ungor Spearmen. We need to try and see if we can just push up against here. We are going to get the Razor Gore herds. We're going to try and see if they can catch the Skeleton Horse Archers over here. What sort of speed are we talking about? There's no way that that's slow. Razor Gore herds, 70 speed. Looks like here, unfortunately, not. Yeah, now we're going to start microing in the back here. So we are going to start getting the Harpies in as well. So I'm trying to see if we can get some Harpies on the Skeletons. Trying to see if we can shut down the Shopti Great Bows as well. Shutting those down would be ideal. Torox needs to move in. And so does the Gorgon. The Gorgon is getting absolutely mullered here. Look at how much damage it's taken. So we are now going to go through to the Souls Tier 1. I love those dancing moves. DJ on the floor there in the middle. And looks like here, is this going to be Traitor Kin? No, Overcasted Flock of Doom. Oh, it's a Break Shaman of Beasts. Interesting. So over here in the middle, it looks like Flock of Doom is going to catch the Skeleton Horse Archers as well. Archon the Black is going to be fighting here up against Torx the Brass Bull. And there is not much Archon can do. Archon is going to have to receive the big back end from Torx the Brass Bull. Looking pretty scary. So he's going to have Brass Body, Blood Beast, the Rune Tortured Axes, as well as Slaughter's Call. He can try and run as far as he likes, but the Curse of Venera going down means that Torok should be able to absolutely slap and spread cheeks. He's going to be fighting where he doesn't need to be. The Gorgon might be able to do some good work as well here. He's going to be a little bit slower, 24 speed. Torok can pretty much just push through this chaff and just hop on and do some nice work. Oh my god, look at that charge, straight through there. Can we get a nice big hit though is the question. Liber Mortis, 40% damage resistance. He is going to be down to 1.6k health. Balance of power super even. We need to start getting in some of these Ungors. Need to get them back into the fixture. Fighting up against those skeletons is very handy. You can see the Harpies are going to be chasing the skeleton horse archers. 82 on 78 speed, I believe. Looks like the Nekahara warriors have pushed out a little bit far here, but it does look like Taurox could be fighting. We need to stop these Ushopti Great Bows from shooting, unfortunately. They're going to single-handedly take down the Gorgon. And once they finish with the Gorgon, then they'll start shooting here up against Taurox the Brass Bull. Razorgore Herds a little bit still in the back. They need to get in and around and start shutting down. Looks like the Gorgon is going to break. 560 HP for him. Negative 37 leadership. As you can see, Taurox is just going to be chasing Archon. He needs to maybe try and shut these down. Looks like the Ushopti are going to be summoned in the back. Looks like there's going to be a nice explosion from him, from the steam. And now, as we can see, the Tomb Scorpion is going to be fighting. He is anti-infantry, but he can do some good armor piercing. 130 armor here from Taurox the Brass Bull. Spirit Leech down as well to do some good damage. We could maybe also move in the Tomb Guard Halberds. He could simply just push out and then start chasing Archon still. But here we see the Gorks from Man Rippers are going to be fighting up against Tomb Guard Halberds. But we need to get in and shut down these Ushopti. Forget the Tomb Guard. This is the big target you need to shut down. So it does look like Razorgore Herds in the backside. We have some more Harpies. And here we go in the back. We do have the Brave Shaman of the Beasts. Try and see if we can get a Manticore summon in here, hopefully. It looks like Archon is going to be floating around in the back, trying to protect himself where he can. But as you can see, the Ushopti are now starting to struggle. Just like the Liber Mortis, 40% damage resistance, or physical resistance, sorry, and 8 leadership. Going to really help in this pocket. Flock of Doom going to do some nice damage, but Taurox the Brass Bull is now struggling. And I mean struggling hard. He's down to 1.6k health. He's taking lots and lots of damage. He's going to charge. Brave Shaman is now going to hit up against Archon the Black. Can we slam through, though, using Taurox the Brass Bull? Taurox the Brass Bull gets a nice charge there into the Brave Shaman. Sorry, into the Brave Shaman, into the Archon the Black. Negative 20 leadership, and he dies. There we go. So Archon is now gone. That is going to be negative 16 leadership. That is actually going to shatter a few of these units. Now they're really, yeah, so some skeletons are now going to start dying in the front line. Balance of power starting to... It is going to be in the Tomb King favour, but it is starting to go back to even a little bit. It's mostly because Taurox is super weak. Taurox needs to focus down the Ushopti Great Bow, kind of ignore the Tomb Scorpion at the moment. The Ushopti Great Bow is all the DPS that you're going to need right now. Everything around the Beastmen is going to be breaking. We do have some Harpies. Harpies could help deal with a lot of this as well, really support Taurox. The Brass Body going to aid for that 40% damage resistance, plus 24 melee attack as well. It looks like the Ushopti Great Bows are going to be able to get away. They do have negative leadership. So one does fall down. They are going to be down to 4 models. Negative 7, so they are slowly taking damage. But now they are going to be able to turn and shoot. They are going to take aim. They are going to shoot into the backside of Taurox. Taurox is down to 580 health. If Taurox dies, it is game. But here we go. The Saviors, the Harpies are in. They are going to start doing some work. They have some relatively good weapon strength, so they should be able to remove a few models here before going down. But Taurox is going to be struggling. Gorks, Man Rippers are now in. They can help remove the Tomb Scorpion, and that will bring balance of power back to normal. Taurox needs to push away. He doesn't want to fight against Tomb Guard Halberd. He could fight against the Kepra Guard, but it looks like here the Ushopti have been dealt with. Ungor's in. Harpies are broken. Taurox is broken. Negative 2 leadership. It is looking dangerous here. Some ammunition left for the skeleton horse archers. They are going to shoot here into the Ungor spear herds. Some damage. Negative leadership as well. We see under fire. Negative 5. Harpies in the back. Harpies need to do some work. Harpies need to come in and cycle charge. Get the rear charge here and the Tomb Guard Halberds. Get that negative 14 leadership. See if we can break and start getting some of that damage over time. Shattering is going to be the Razorgore Herds. Looks like Taurox is back. 1 leadership for him. It's not huge. But a charge here would give him plus 15. Skeleton Horse Archer is going to rear charge the Ungor Spearmen. They are going to shatter them. That is going to be army losses. And a big win here for the Tomb Kings. Big win. The evil Necromancer runs away cackling. Indeed, he does run away cackling. 3,063 damage value for Taurox the Brass Bull, 1,548 for 178 kills from the Brave Shaman, and here from the Gorgon only 125. Gordox Man Rippers 1.3k as well. For the front line, 270, 440, 180, and 320, with 316 for the Gorha Shields. 112, 263, and 400 for the Harpies. And it looks like we got 600 for the Razor Gores, 600 for the Razor Gores, and 650, which is actually a very nice pick. I like that indeed. A very nice pick indeed. 588 for Ark and the Black. 230, 290, 250, 280, with 350 for the Nikahara Warriors. Tomb Guard here, 760 with 550. And for the Halberd, 616 and 790, with the Kepra Guard with 985. 190 for the Skeleton Archers, and for the Horsemen, 180, 280, 480, and 280. 1.3k here, nearly 1.4 for the Tomb Scorpion, and 2,200 from the Ushapti Great Bows. And one thing I'd really like to see here from Undead's builds is that you see with a couple of newer players, you do see the fact that actually sometimes you see too many Ushapti. You might see like 2 Ushapti and 2 Casket of Souls, when you can't always protect that against certain factions. So it's nice to see that a sensible amount was taken, they were utilised correctly, the damage value came in nicely, and 2 very good builds from both sides. I like that a lot. No, it's Captain Morgan's. It's game 3, so it's Captain Morgan's pick. So it's now going to be 2-0 here for Undead. Can Captain Morgan come back into it, though? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is the reverse sweep on? What do you guys think? So we are going to be moving into the next game, which is going to be Outdorf Outskirts. So, been some pretty interesting stuff. So, is the reverse sweep on, ladies and gentlemen? What do we think? Do we think it's going to be on, or is Undead going to take this for the 3-0? What do we reckon? What do we reckon? Ban coast and win. Yeah, potentially. Need something to actually write on here, actually. I'm running out of items to write on, so... VCNTK. I will go Chaos, Ban of Dark Elves, and Beastmen. So Chaos. We will be having the Vampire Pirates. Now, this is my thought process. This is where the game seems to change a little bit, because most players have now used most of their main factions, and now we're going to start to delve into the game state where we see some real differences. It's your boy. What you saying, Omen? How you doing, buddy? Here to see the finals. Yes, sir, you are. It's going to be 2-0 so far to Undead. So, yes. So after this, there will be no Undead factions left for Mr. Undead to play. So, could get very open from there. So, if you guys are enjoying this so far, please feel free to smash that like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also here, we will be having 2 tournaments throughout the week. So we should be having another tournament that I haven't put on yet, but I'll be putting it on very soon. And we'll be having Battlemania on Friday. So make sure all of you guys are switched on for that and ready to go. Make sure you sign up. We're all good for that. So Undead is ready. He has all of his armies ready, prepared here for the Undead factions. And one scary thing about Vampire Pirates is I don't see many people playing them. Most people are not very well prepared for them because you don't often see them unless you see them in tournaments. This is VP favored for sure. Chaos can still win, but VP favored. Yeah, if you go wide gun line, it is very difficult. I'll watch this again when the full video is posted. Yeah, cool, man. Awesomely. I like to see it. Alright, so here we go. In the final, Game 3 here between Undead and Captain Morgan. Now, can Morgan get that reverse sweep? Can he beat one of Undead's Undead factions? Or is it going to be the 3-0 Dubski here for Undead? So we are going to see the Mirror Guard here in the middle. The nice ROR Chaos Warriors. They're going to be alongside some Forsaken that are nice there with that 46 speed. Chaos Marauders as well. So more Forsaken, more Chaos Marauders, Chosen as well. God damn, we're seeing some elite units here today. Marauders. And we are going to have Archaon the Ever Chosen. Lots of Forsaken, lots of Mirror Guard, and it looks like 2 units of Chosen. I think the best way to play this here for the Chaos is go as wide as humanly possible, or should we say chaosly possible, and then see how we do from there. Now, Archaon the Ever Chosen, good here with the Burning Heads, the Flaming Sword of Ruins, Fireballs, and also Kindle Flame. We are going to have Stand or Die and Foe Seeker. I could easily see you dropping Stand or Die and also Foe Seeker. I don't particularly think they're needed. Here in the back, we are going to see some Throwing Axes. So some Throwing Axes, and also some Chaos Warhounds with Poison. We're going to see some Scurvy Dogs in the rear side, so some sneaky Vanguards there for sure. Over here as well, we're going to see some more. Oh my god, a bloated corpse. What a memester indeed. He's going to bring all of those bad boys. So the zombie pirate deckhands here. Lots of zombie pirates. They're going to be protecting here, which are the deck gunners. In the back, the handgunners going to be up alongside the polearms. And so we're going to be moving over into this force. The classic sight of Noculus double gunnery whites. Pretty common here. So the gunnery whites will have Scab Scraith. And Pigeon Pendant is something that I'm not too fond of. But at the same time, we're still going to be seeing it with Scab Scraith. So I don't particularly mind too much. Up in the Crow's Nest, we are going to be having Count Noculus. We'll have the Captain's Wrath Moon Dial. We'll also have Wrathstorm, the Arcane Conduit, Invocation of Nehek, Drowned Dead, the Curse of Undeath, and Abandoned Ship. So bombers, handguns as well. This is going to be difficult indeed. Horsemen moving forward, throwing axes as well. Bloated corpse in the trees. Let's get a good zoom on this bad boy. Look at him just approaching in his natural habitat. The Empire Wasteland. Should really get some shots in. If we can get around in the back here, maybe try and see if we can get some pokes. We do actually have some fell bats in the sky. No gunnery bats in this matchup. Really surprised about that. Gunnery bats are really strong, I think, in this matchup. As you can see, Wrathstorm, as quick as possible on top of Archaon, could be really nice. So we can try and see if we can get all 3 Wrathstorms up to do some good work. In the back here, we are going to see some doggos. Doggos are now going to start putting some pressure on the horsemen. They have revealed themselves. They are going to be kiting whilst moving, throwing axes. Not going to do enough AP. The AP is not going to be too handy here up against these 0 armor scurvy dogs. But they need to split. They need to divide and conquer here. We can actually see some Chaos Warhammer poison in the back here. And a Burning Head in the front. Burning Head going to go straight through the front line. Some good damage there. Really nice damage. Need to be careful here of these bombers. No! Bombers going to be getting deleted as well. That's scary. Yep, they got removed really hard. Bombers might be able to throw here. This pocket is really starting to open. You've got to be careful here. As we can see here, the deck gunner is going to be shooting here up against the Mirror Guard. They do actually have shield breaker. So the silver shields here that we have for the Mirror Guard will go down to bronze, as you can see. So that is going to be quite handy indeed. The Fellbats here, looks like they're going to be shutting down Archaon the Everchosen. I'd like to see them chasing after the Marauder Horsemen with the throwing axes. The Gunner Rights here are going to be slapping straight into Archaon. Looks like Wrathstorm is going to come down here from the sky. Let's have a look. Coming down, smashing straight into him as well. Already going to be losing quite a few thousand worth of health already. So he's already gone down from 5.2. He's already lost over 2,000 health. 2.4k already down the drain. But as we can see here, already imposing is going to be the Warhound. Scab Straith going to be moving through the Forsaken. Forsaken straight onto those deck gunner mobs. We need to start seeing some summons here from Noculus. This front line is really starting to buckle left, right, and centre. That is a good summon, but unfortunately you're already going to be losing your deck gunners. Deck gunners going down is huge, and that's going to be then gone for sure. We need to see a kill here on Archaon to really try and bring back that balance of power if we can. These gunners here in the front are going to be struggling. They are going to get shut down here as well. Moving in with the Mirror Guard. Fighting in combat is going to be the Zombie Pirate Gunner mobs. As we can see, already broken here. Big shots into Archaon the Everchosen. A nice Scab Straith as well, going to be going through the frontline Marauders. In the front, we are going to see a summon here of the Deccan mobs. We're going to try and see if they can fight here up against the Forsaken. Still alive is going to be the gunnery mob, the handguns. They're going to be shooting here into the Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. And also here the doggos are going to return, but there's going to be no scurvy dogs left here from the vampires. In the back door, the Bloated Corpse. The Bloated Corpse has not been noticed. If it can slam into some Mirror Guard, it could rack some value. Throwing a Horseman, though, could do some work. It doesn't have much health, that's for sure. No armor. He's going to be charging in. What can we see here? That is an incredible explosion, deleting the Chaos Marauders. They've actually shattered them. That's probably one of the best competitive plays I've ever seen with the Bloated Corpse. That was awesome. Wrathstorm here on Archaon the Everchosen. That will more than likely finish him off here. Wrathstorm does hit. 150 health left for him, and he's dead. He's down. That's negative 16 here, faction-wide for the Chaos. That's going to be breaking quite a few models here in the front line. Now, that will drop down to 10 over time, but that's going to break a lot indeed. Balance of power is going to be going in the Vampire Pirate favour. We can see the Gunnery Whites in the front with their Scab Straiths doing relatively well here. Big cannon shots here going straight into the Marauder Horsemen, breaking here all over the place. Here we can see that some Marauder Horsemen going to be shooting into Noculus. In the middle here, we are going to see an Invocation of the Heck overcasted. Damage is going to go on Noculus, but it is going to hopefully heal himself as well. So some Forsaken are going to push into the pocket. I haven't seen too many Chosen so far. The Chosen here in the middle, they're going to be very, very low on leadership. Look at that. Look at all those negatives. Scab Straith in the middle as well. Forsaken breaking. Marauder Horsemen fighting in melee combat up against the anti-large and armor-piercing polearms. Chosen are going to be struggling. Chaos Marauders, Forsaken, as well as the Chaos Warhammer Poison on the left-hand side. On the right, we are going to see some more scurvy dogs. They are alive. I don't know what happened to them, but it looks like they are now going to start moving into the backside. Summons here of the Zombie Pirate mobs are going to be fighting and holding back the Chosen, whilst Noculus uses this nice big cannon here to finish off the rest. Another summon of the Deccan mobs fighting here up against the Marauder Horsemen. And looks like here we're going to be taking down some Chosen using Noculus. Looks like the Gunnery White's going to be getting involved, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can, but if he stays too long here up against the Chosen, that is going to start getting a little bit dangerous. Shattered are going to be the Chaos Warhounds with poison. Breaking in the backside as well with the Marauder Horsemen being chased by those scurvy dogs. And some excellent skirmish cavalry, anti-skirmish cavalry play here coming from Mr. Undead. So Wrathstorm going to be targeting the Chosen. That's going to be all 3 Wrathstorms in. That could really do some great damage here. I can even break them here actually. So they are just about going to be holding on. Look at all of those negatives. So many negatives. In the middle here, though, unfortunately, Noculus is going to be struggling to fight up against all these Chosen. We need to... Oh, good Scab Scrape, but we need to get him out. He needs to get out. Throwing axes going into him as well here from the Marauder Horseman throwing axes. It's looking really, really close here. On the side, some Forsaken that could really do with getting into this mixture. It is really, really close here towards the end of this game. Something over here on the left-hand side. Some Marauder Horsemen. There's still lots from the Chaos. We need some summons, though, is the point. Can we get any summons? Forsaken are going to break. I can't see what's on top of him as well. Wavering is going to be, it looks like, oh, some more Forsaken. Chosen here going to be fighting up against the Crab. They should have some relatively good stats. I think 60 melee defense here for the Chosen. Yeah, 60 melee defense here for these bad boys. Very, very strong. Noculus is going to be wavering, though. Noculus does need some healing. Healing, indeed, he does get. But he is going to be getting hit, though, by those throwing axes. Moving into the Scurvy Dogs. They are going to be coming in eventually. They are going to be saving the day. They should be able to do some really good work here against the lightly armoured Skirmish Cavalry. In the middle, though, Noculus, with that Terror, should be able to tear out the rest of this. Unfortunately, Chosen do not have immune to Psychology. And looks like here, more powder, really going to aid and keep that balance of power nice and high by keeping the ammunition stocked here for the 3 expensive heroes and lords. Charging in, the Marauder Horseman going to get a good charge bonus on Noculus. Get that charge for the next 13 seconds. Noculus not going to get too much value off. Balance of power is massively in the favour, though, for the VP. And there we go. That is going to be army losses. That is going to be a break and a brilliant win here with a 3-0 victory for Mr. Undead. His name is John Cena, indeed. This series is beyond epic. Indeed, my friend, it has been absolutely insane. A Pyrrhic victory, 110 kills, 2,275 damage value for Count Noculus, 1,686 for the Gunnery Rights, 1,480 as well. 130, 146, 18, 111, and 147 for the Deckhand Mobs, with 260, 392 for the Polearms, with 288, 225 for the Bombers, with 270, and 21 for the Deckhand Gunnery Mobs. 200 here from the Deck Gunners, with 886 and 416 for the Scurvy Dogs, 24 for the Fellbats, and 630 for the Bloated Corpse. 133, 850 for Archaon the Ever Chosen, 302, 88, 196, and 140 for the Chaos Marauders, with 153 kills, 167 as well, 1045, 460, and 780 for the Forsaken, 210 for the Mirror Guard, with 180 kills, 1680 for the Chosen, as well as 704 for the Chosen, with 1,500 for the Marauder Horsemen, 330, 1,440, and 260, with 104 kills, 535 for the Chaos Warhounds with poison. GG's indeed. Well, that here, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up today's event of the Norgrimlings tournament. The first one here on the channel. I hope all of you really, really did enjoy it. If you did, please feel free to smash that like button, subscribe as well. And, yeah. What did you all think today? Did you think it was great? Did you guys that participated, did you all enjoy it? Are you guys looking forward to the ones coming forward in the future? That bloated play was outstanding. Was truly outstanding. It was some really cool games. It was some really cool games. I'm shaking so much. So Mr. Undead is going to be today's Norgrimlings tournament winner. It was awesome being here. Thanks for participating. Thanks all for participating. It was such a blast. Yeah, indeed, I loved it. Excellent evening's entertainment. Thank you, Logic. No problem, dude. No problem. I'm shaking. Dude, yeah, you deserve it. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations indeed. Really well played in today's tournament. So end the tournament with today's victor, 4-0, Mr. Undead. Well played, my friend, beating Mr. Steel Bonnets, going through Ruin, beating Philox here in the semi-final, and then Captain Morgan. And actually today, the only one to take a game off him, Mr. Steel Bonnets. God damn. You had to beat the almighty Steel Bonnet to get where you got. GG's indeed, my friend. Yes, Mr. Rubber Duck War, it has just finished. We have just finished the series. Undead just did win 3-0. I have 0 hours of sleep. Undead does not shake, they crumble. Yeah, indeed, they don't shake, they crumble. Quack, quack, Mr. Ducky, how you doing, my friend? Hey, Russell, how you doing, buddy? Russell Cash, how you doing? Nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. It was that dwarf build. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Dwarfs are tough to deal with, man. Dwarfs are tough to deal with. Everyone leave your bread for the bread gods. Get your bread in there. Make sure that you have played the Troll Toll. I need to find some bread now. Hey, Neckbet. Yes, buddy. Yeah, the stream is over. Well, you say already. It has been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes, but yes. Yes, it is over. With a big win here from Undead. Thanks for the tawny logic. Next one will be Revenge of the Ducks. Indeed, Revenge of the Ducks DVD will come through with a dubski. Flakes for the cornflakes. How we doing, Massimiliano? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Seems we all came over with Ducky, so welcome all the crew from Ducky. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you enjoyed the Death Before Dishonor. Hope it was a great tournament. What's going on here? We're going to be doing the Norgrimlings tournament, which is part of the Shortbeard series. Now, the Shortbeard series is a collection of games for all new players that want to get into the Total War Warhammer scene, which means we do leagues that go on where you join a league and you basically play players of your similar ability. And then we also do a tournament here called the Norgrimling Tournament, which is where players play only the new players here that are part of the Shortbeard status have a go in a tournament, which means, you know, you're not going to be getting your Falcons, you're not going to be getting your Alfredinos here in this tournament. It's only going to be new players to get you guys all experience. That shiz was the crazy good shiz. This was a great best of 3. I really enjoyed it between these two. Good. Turin sent me to Rubber Duck. Rubber Duck sent me here. Awesome, man. Lovely to have you here, dude. I'm going to be casting a couple of... I'll be doing my biggest tournament, which will be Battlemania next week. That will be on... That'll be on Friday. We're also going to be doing, I think, a sub-faction tournament throughout the week. Doing fine. Raiding around. Started with Turin. Jumped to Rubber Ducky. Now here. I know you're Nick because you're quite a formidable player. Yeah, another Total Warhammer stream. Thanks, dude. Grumpy God, how are we? Nice to see you. Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Logic? I'm doing really well, thank you, buddy. I'm doing really well. We had a really awesome tournament. I really enjoyed it. Russell Cash is a man of culture. I see. Indeed, a man of culture. You come to well, at least Ducky's a great caster. You come to me as well, so you must be a man of culture. But yes, well, thank you very much for all of you guys dropping by. I hope you enjoyed the tournament for what you guys did see. Who just beat Falcon? What, Ducky? Ducky beat Falcon? Geese? Or Tyrion beat Falcon? Who beat Falcon? Baseless accusations. The Dark Lord of memes. I'm all about the memes here. Yeah, so if any of you guys that are new here, feel free to go down into the description. You'll be able to find my Discord there, and you guys will be able to join where you'll see all of the leagues, you'll see all of the tournaments, you'll see all of the memes, you'll see all of the streams, videos. I've done a dwarf series on here for you guys, so you guys can learn a little bit more about the dwarfs. There's all sorts of things here, so feel free. What's going to be the next tournament you're going to host? So throughout the week, I'm going to be doing the sub-faction tournament, so where you have to bring a sub-faction, and you can only bring that sub-faction. So, yeah, so for me, I will probably go... I don't know what I'll go. I don't know what sub-faction I'll bring, but I'll bring something. But I'll play as well, to be fair. I normally play in those ones, but I'll be doing that. And then there'll be Battlemania on Friday, and then we'll be having another tournament on the weekend. So there'll be at least 3 tournaments throughout next week, so it should be pretty fun. I don't actually think Falcon drinks at all. Falcon's an amazing player. Like, he really is an amazing player. Really, really great player. But guys, thank you very much for popping over from Ducky's stream and from Tyrion's. I really appreciate that. If you guys want to subscribe and stay around, I'd really like that as well. Yeah, do. I put videos up every single day. I do tournaments multiple times a week. So feel free to hang around, check out all the content, and see what you like, see what you don't like. 3 vs 3 sub-commander tournament. Yeah, we'll be doing some sub-commanders tonight in the Discord, so if anybody wants to come in and play, have some fun, we normally do that every single night as well. But yeah, we'll be doing... I could do a 3 vs 3 sub-commander tournament. I'd be down for that as well. But if you do join the Discord, you can go in there and vote for what you would like to see. But yes, other than that, all of you, take care. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video or live stream. See you all soon.